The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Right now, we are hours away from Thanksgiving Eve. And I got to say, there are a lot of things that I'm thankful for. As it pertains to the show, I got to say that I am thankful to once again be at a table with my brothers, right? 800 and whatever the fuck episodes, been together doing this thing, and I really, really enjoy that. But probably, as it relates to the show, what I'm most thankful for all our friends that we've met over the years, and those that will hang out with us and listen to us. And I want to thank them that they allow us to come in their ears every week.
Oh.
All right, no. That you allow us to
Here, fucker.
come in your mind.
Oh.
No. What's it better?
You're about to lose your privilege of doing these intros.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for supporting us in various things and checking us out when the show drops. Gobble, gobble. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 383 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast. It's recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein and also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau. We discuss at least one film a week. That's going to change next week. We argue, we make fun of each other, and that was a really fucking disgusting intro.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to turn the hammer my way. Just to, just for the sake of
Why?
my sanity.
Sometimes tone doesn't come across in voice. You know what I mean?
And sometimes it does.
And sometimes butt doesn't come across in brain.
What? Well, I tried to make a
Nice job, Raven Shadow.
Thank you, Johnny.
We're also 30 minutes late because of you, so thank you for that, too.
Not because of me.
No, absolutely.
Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Three of us
you.
were sitting at this table waiting.
Yeah, and we were a little late.
Listen, there was some things going on. I might, there's been some things going on
There's
that,
been some things going on. Keep saying that.
yeah. And I'm fucking trying.
Is there some things going on, though?
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's not as important as some other, stuff that we had, but I had to be overly cautious.
If you put as much effort in trying to get the shit done that you think that you need to get done, with as much integrity and heart that you put into your stupid fucking excuses as to why you're late, you might actually accomplish something.
Wow.
Well, first of all,
that's rich coming from you.
Yeah, it's fair. No, I mean, you're like fucking little Jack Horner piercing the Christmas pie in my brain right now.
You're little Jack Horny.
Yeah. No, I mean, I should get a therapist because that would saves me a lot of that. But no, yes, if I did put the effort in, it would be a lot better.
This is kind of like therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to pay for our therapy though?
except we pay for it for the hosting and everything.
Yeah. He thinks this is all therapeutic. Meanwhile, the rest of us are paying for it.
Well, you got some fucking problems too, sir.
I do have problems, but I don't inject any of those problems onto any of you people.
I thought he was going to say,
John,
but
I understand.
yeah,
Just call him Yanni.
I said Yanni.
Yanni.
Yeah, Yanni Wolfenstein.
What is he going to play the pan flute later?
Yeah.
No,
Some weird
that's
things
not
happening.
Yanni. That's Zamfir,
he's
my
gonna-
friend.
He's
Yeah.
going to score the next Karate Kid film. You watch.
Yeah, I could see Yanni Wolfenstein on playing the hat shell.
Yanni Vegan.
That shell.
Yeah, it's nice. Now listen.
Yanni. Yump and Yemeni.
No, I just spent a little more attention to detail before we got the
Spend a little bit more attention.
yeah,
Okay.
Oh, God.
and it might tie into something that happens in the movie later on. So maybe I'll save that because this is a
Ooh.
character I relate to in this film.
Please
Well,
don't
if
say
you-
the boyfriend.
No,
Okay.
If you learned to multitask, you could have been walking the dog while you were on your phone.
And
Yeah.
watching the movie.
well, fair. Well, we'll fucking get into
Well,
that.
actually,
you
no.
were
He
around the-
Go ahead, Aries.
No, because he was pacing around the house when I came in, just talking to thin air, because he has his
Of course.
earpiece in. You know, he's Italian, so the hands are just going.
Yeah,
I guess that's probably why you don't want to do that. You'd be winging the dog around on the leash.
Yeah. I'd be the worst umpire.
What is he like, Bob Kraft getting when he ejaculates MZ? Is that what it does?
Oh, Jesus.
Arms flailing around all over the place.
Never say ejaculate again, please. No, I was talking about
That's inappropriate.
I know, right? Yeah. Oh, let's talk about come in your ear.
Check with.
Yeah.
no. That's how does the sound come in? Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh man, it's a ruined.
This is nice. Let him keep going.
He will.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like a regular fucking Michael Winslow over there.
Slow.
Michael Win
It's all those-
slow.
It's all those cake fart videos he watches.
Yeah, he learned pretty well.
You're the only one who remembers those goddamn things.
Because that was disturbing to learn that you watched those.
I don't watch
You
those.
did watch those.
You watched them too.
Because you showed them to me 4
No,
times.
wrong. I did not show them to you.
Johnny.
Wolfie showed them.
Oh. No, I did not. Oh wait, I pulled it up and I stopped it, and then you kept watching it on your phone.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
watch it on my phone.
Ravenchild doesn't know how to work his phone, so he didn't find
Thank
it on
you.
his own.
Oh, we let Peter North in the house.
I just had that sound all queued up.
Wow, I didn't know we had.
My lord.
Yeah,
Ain't wet fluid,
Peter
kids.
North is here. Where is it?
That's Spider-Man.
Cover yourself
He
You
uses
better
web
come-
fluid.
something. It's gonna be like a Gallagher show in a few minutes.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes. It is going to be a very happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Peter
So-
North, Raven Shadow. Peter North.
Why? Wait, are you like fucking Candyman? You say his name 5 times and show up his big fucking dick? Like, is that the porn star you want to fucking invoke?
It was a little weird that he was just kind of like Raven Shadow, Peter North,
Yeah.
Peter North,
Say his name.
and like
Say his name 3 times, MZ.
No,
Yeah.
I'll say Angela White's name 5 times. And
That's fair.
that was no sound effect. That was me.
Hit
Still
the,
got 4 more times there, handsome.
hitting the ceiling.
Yep.
Oh my! It's in the fucking ceiling fan. It's in the dog. It's just terrible.
It's in the dog.
Don't be
Oh.
fucking. It's the worst
All
Thanksgiving.
right, you
ever.
draw the line there. You know. All right, so let me talk about what we're doing tonight because we may need to dedicate a decent amount of time to this film discussion, but we're going to be talking about Midsommar. And that film came out several months ago and just hit VOD a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be talking about that. It's the most recent film from director Ari Aster and the director who did Hereditary, which you guys still haven't seen yet. So we're going to be talking about that.
I want to see it.
And I think we're also going to determine some of the next Patreon content because we have a window this weekend, and I want to figure it out. So I think Raven Shadow, we actually talked about it while you were busy, and I think we settled on what we're going to do. But we'll now nail it down later. But just want to let folks know what was going on. You know what? We haven't done it in a while. And despite Raven Shadow being late, we'll still do the fucking intros, all right? Maybe that'll encourage him to be in his chair earlier next week.
Bullshit.
Well, no, because we tried to have that rule that we wouldn't do him unless he was in the seat,
Yeah,
and that never seemed to work out.
yeah. Because we always end up having to wait for his sorry ass.
Well, maybe
And that's your fault, Johnny.
maybe I'll just give him like 4 titles this week. Then I'll choose. He gets an abbreviated intro.
All
No,
right,
no,
world
no,
champ,
no.
European champ,
Yeah.
IC champ.
No, I'll pick. All right, let me go ahead and introduce everyone. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio. Also, with one of the hosts of Force Insensitive, a Star Wars podcast. We've been talking all about The Mandalorian over there. Raven Shadow, did you see episode 3?
I did, dude.
What did you think?
I had a fucking blast, dude.
This is the
I had
way.
Oh shit! It was so much commotion. I was a little moved. You know, there was some movement. Maybe my pants got a little tighter in certain scenes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I took it back there, but no, it was great. And I'm accepting the fact that all right, these are all going to be half-hour episodes, right?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say. I mean, maybe we'll get maybe the season finale will be longer. I would think that would be the one, if any of them. But yeah, I think they're going to be between 30, 40 minutes.
And I gotta say, I think it's still kind of whack that it is a half an hour. But with that said, they do cram a lot into that half an hour. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit, and it was pretty rad. Even in very short 3 episodes they've done, we've seen a lot of growth in the character, and I'm digging the Mandalorian. And when we first saw him, it was like, okay, here's another attempt at Boba Fett. And I'm sorry, Johnny, take your earmuffs off. You know, Jango Fett was fucking whack. But I like Mondo as Apollo. So Apollo Creed calls him.
He calls him Mando.
Oh, fuck. You say Mondo.
Jango Fett?
Jango Fett was whack. In the prequels.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jango Fett.
You don't even know about Jango Fett?
No, I'm just trying to picture.
Yeah, he's Boba Fett's dad.
Well, okay. Well,
Technically.
wow, how did he get from
the
way from an Italian Western all the way into outer space?
Right. No, well, there's no D in this one.
There's no D. Just a J.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The J is
I'm like,
loud.
oh shit. No, see, that would be good.
That's a fucking movie.
That would
right?
be a good movie.
Yeah, Jango Fett. And I said Jamie Foxx. I know there was a Django before Jamie Foxx. I'm not saying,
You better not be saying that.
but like that'd be a fucking movie.
And-
Tarantino, Jango Fett Unchained.
And one last thing about, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I have like a little clip, but Rocky wrote a song for the episode based on episode 3. Let me just pull it up real quick here, and I'll play it. It's pretty good. But yeah, so we played a song, and we had a good discussion about it. So if you guys want to check it out, check out episode 3 of Force Insensitive. It's myself. It's Rocky Boeck, who you've heard on the show, our buddy Alberto, who's been on the Star Wars special episodes, and also old friend Dynamo Mars. If you miss Mars, you can hear him over on Force Insensitive.
Hey, I know that guy.
And this
Good.
okay, the file just opened. Okay, so here is, I'll just play a little bit. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's like 2 minutes long, so I'll just play a little bit.
That's one impressive weapon.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk to my ship with the kid, and you're gonna let it happen.
Mando. These are the spoils of the great purge.
Our world was shattered.
So Rocky spent some time putting that together. It's pretty awesome. So if you guys want to hear the whole thing, you can listen to episode 3 of Force Insensitive. So let me go ahead and start introducing everyone else, the other ones. We have the vulgar guru of horror, star of Blood Pigs, Fetus, the upcoming Morbid Tales, and Septic, one-time contributor for Horror Hound magazine, Monster Zero.
Hello, everybody. I don't watch the Star Wars crap.
You're like a tape deck that like is like the yeah, like the heads are like need to be cleaned or something.
Like the batteries are running low
yeah,
on the.
yeah.
On the old boom box.
You want some Sunbeam?
Or it's like that scene in 2001 where Hal's singing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we also have the Triumph Riding, Stage Erecting, Whiskey Drinking, Chief of Security, the Warrior of Nor'easters, America's Sweetheart, Rick Rubin, Stunt Double, He Drinks and Breaks Things, Ares, God of War.
Hello.
We also have the glorified rapscallion, the professional smoke chamber, the cool proprietor of the Secretary Speakeasy, Mr. Duke of Degeneracy, and the Parisian baby shaker himself, Michael Ravenshadow.
You just confused the fuck out of him.
Hey, what did I just become?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I approve that message.
I don't know. The Parisian baby shaker, I think is.
That's
Yeah.
kind of funny. I will shake a Parisian
That's
baby
about
like
as
a
close.
motherfucker.
Yeah, that's about probably the closest description of you there is.
Yeah, I'll give a Parisian baby a fucking throat punch. I'll tell you that much.
Actually, that might stick, the Parisian baby shaker.
Like who was it? Who was it? Was it Will Ferrell who punches a baby in the face?
I don't know. Ravenshadow will probably punch a gypsy baby in the face, though.
Listen, I love my gypsy brothers and sisters, but if they throw babies at you, don't catch them because they will jack you up.
Up or off?
I'm not sure. No, it's not like cool. Like it's like, oh, I just feel jack you off at midnight. Well, that's cool. I'll just go in the wood. But no, they will steal your money. They'll steal your euros.
Is that like an Olympic sport? Gypsy baby tossing?
In Italy?
Maybe.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, now I know why we left. Sarah showed me pictures of Will Ferrell punching a child. Thank you, MZ. God blesses everyone.
I don't know the movie, but Will Ferrell punches a baby dead in the face, like a little baby. He's got a pacifier in his mouth and everything.
Will Ferrell, the baby.
Baby has a little pacifier in his mouth.
I suspect that's not a real baby. But I'm very excited, Johnny. There's some
Why?
things coming up. Work on some intros the next couple of days.
Why?
No, Johnny and I'm gonna send you a meeting request.
A meeting request? Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
He's gonna send you a text saying,
Yeah.
"Call me."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He's
The amuse bouche to the entertainment evening.
So it's Mandalorian in the bed.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
You already have the feety pajamas on, and
Well, I mean, maybe Mandalorian are the verbs, but I don't know what's going on here. But
We got a bunch of people hanging out in the chat room. Looks like we have the people that have made themselves known. We have Marion. We got Evil Corny. We got X. We got Fart Night.
is the fart night?
Yeah,
Oh shit! Are you saying the fart night returns?
the Fart Night returns. And then we also have Creepy Girl.
Oh, Rudo!
Hey.
Some
And
beautiful lovelies.
also
some
in
dudes.
the Facebook chat room, we got Mars. Mars says, "Miss me now, Raven Shadow." I think that was in regard to what MZ was saying.
I think
or
so.
maybe it's sound effects.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think so.
And Creepy Girl is guessing was the film Step Brothers.
No, it was the campaign.
Oh,
I looked.
I haven't
it's
seen that.
It was like internet shit, right? Was he the one when he was like in the dress in the
Internet
back-
shit.
No,
like
I
a
think
short-
I think it's him and Zach Galifianakis running for something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. So he's trying to punch Galifianakis
Yeah.
and he misses.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking good. Wowzers.
So that's all of us. Now introduce yourselves. Take a minute to introduce yourself out there, listeners. Oh, nice.
Roll down the windows of your car
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just shut your name out the window.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know they were there. Did you know that, Raven Shadow?
I didn't.
Wow.
It's not money and not eat it now.
Long time no listen, huh? So We don't often do this, but if you guys want to find us, there's a few ways you can do so. Obviously, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, Stitcher. We're also on the Satchel Podcast Player, Google Play, pretty much anywhere you can hear podcasts. And if you haven't already, subscribe to do that, and then leave us a 5-star review. Go ahead, especially on Apple Podcasts. If you haven't done so yet, leave us 5 stars. Click the 5 stars, and then also give folks a few words about what you like, just because, they might be looking at, these other podcasts and saying, oh, which one should I listen to? And they see, oh, Michael Ravenshadow is a cool guy. Would you listen to that show?
My mom.
Would you listen to that show, Ravenshadow, if you read that?
Michael Ravenshadow's a cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would listen to that.
I would. Wait, it's called Satchel Play.
Satchel Podcast Player.
Okay.
Yeah. You never heard me say that before?
You have.
I know. I have. Just making sure you're listening.
I think about Satchel Paige.
Satchel Page.
He's pretty good.
So, yeah.
Oh, but
What?
no.
What?
But I've gotten some feedback on the streets.
On the
somehow-
streets.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do us much good.
Well, that sometimes the Apple, if you don't have an Apple device, it could be hard leaving a 5-star review. Are you aware of that problem?
Well, you can just look it up online. You need to have an Apple account. So that's the thing. If you don't have an Apple ID or an Apple account, you can just create one.
But what if you have like a Droid?
Well, if you have a Droid, you can go to a website using your Droid.
Which website?
You can go to iTunes or I think they renamed it to Apple Podcasts. So you can just type Trick or Treat Radio, Apple Podcast, search. Let me do
So
it
I'm
right
confused.
now.
So is iTunes still a thing, or is it now Apple Bottom Podcast?
Apple Bottom. It is technically. What the hell is he
No, I
laughing at?
think it's legitimate. You got Monique and Unique
Why
over
is
here
that?
laughing things amok.
Well, it's because you
But-
call it Apple Bottom.
Well, that's what I'm thinking
It's not
about.
the Apple Dumpling Gang here.
Yeah.
It's the Apple Bottom Gang.
Yeah.
Why
well,
are you Apple Bottom Gang? I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna kick your ass.
I would join that gang. But I think people are confused because maybe like Apples are running them amok. But is it still like?
So here's the thing. I just did a Google search. I did Trick or Treat Radio, Apple Podcasts. It comes up.
Okay.
It brings me right to the podcasts.apple.com page. And then from here, I think you can leave a review here. Can you? Customer reviews. I see the reviews. I click see all. I don't know, actually. I see a bunch of reviews. A lot of 5 stars. Oh, man. I feel loved. But none recently. I don't feel as loved. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, if people don't listen to Apple Podcasts, it is difficult. You have to go out of your way. But in that case, just use whatever you use. If you use, Google Play, I don't know how they rate things, but, Stitcher, I think you can go ahead and do it there. I don't know if Spotify has ratings, but just try your best. Do what you can.
Thank you.
That's all I'll ask. So, but yes. So, just to answer your question, iTunes is still available, but it's getting phased out. They're basically introducing new apps. So there's Apple Podcasts. There is also Apple Music. There's Apple TV. So they basically all the things you could do on iTunes, they split up into different apps. So that's why it's iTunes. iTunes is one of the worst pieces of software ever, in my estimation. So I'm happy to see it gone, to be honest. So
This whole Apple turnover thing.
How long you been waiting to say that?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
I've had it on deck for about 3 seconds.
Oh, so as long as you had that poop on deck last week.
Oh man,
Oh my God.
Yeah, what was up, Ramsey? Were you all right?
just a little stomach problem. Nothing major.
Depends who lives here.
I'm happy to report the ride home was incident free.
Yes,
Oh, good. You got it all out in Raven Shadow's bowl.
I
Yeah.
sure did.
I fucking
Boy.
paint shipping.
Raven Shadow's
Hey,
hair.
how often do I leave this seat? How often do I leave this seat?
I don't often leave the seat, but when I do, I shit in fucking Raven Shadow's bathroom.
What would you rather have me do? Huh?
Go in the yard. I'll take you out.
Go in the yard. He'll walk you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And he'll wash your feet when you come back in.
I'll wash
You
your
wash my
paws.
feet when we come back
Yeah.
in? You will? Okay, good.
Do your business, MC.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to concentrate.
Who wants to watch Police Academy? Come on in.
Oh, ooh, me.
Yeah.
No, it was just, gurgling time and
Gurgling time.
and, the bowels of love, and I had to take care of that, so.
Thank you for choosing the Raven Chateau for that.
Well, thank you. Or the Raven shit toe.
That's fucking nice.
Real nice. Yeah, real nice.
Hey, be glad I didn't go in the sink.
Ugh.
Why would that be an option?
Well,
Yeah.
I am. Because I knew how he would take it if I just went to the bathroom.
I would take that, Pauline. It's not even my house.
Thank you, Aries.
Wow. Wow.
Right in the sink.
Unbelievable.
Turkey fin, the whole goddamn thing.
Jesus.
White porcelain into brown porcelain. There you go.
What the fuck?
I'm at a loss. I'm sorry. That's why. Why would that even cross your mind?
Yipper.
Did he give him a yupper decker?
Oh, this fucking guy was out of his mind on the Facebook yesterday.
Who?
You.
Oh,
Thank you, Raven Shadow, because I did want to bring that up. MZ,
Oh my fucking god.
MZ, what has you so upset on social media these days?
Well, it was brought up to me by our good friend Smokin' Thai Salmon that on Nesson, and Nesson is the local sports affiliate here in the Northeast.
Yep.
And they were revealing the big news that the Pawtucket Red Sox is moving to Worcester, which is no more than a stone's throw away from where we're sitting right now, in 2021. And they gave the big reveal on the logo, the mascot, the park, and the team and the team nickname. And let me just say, I think the idea for Polo Park is good. I like it. That's a good name. They showed, in really poor in a really poor computer rendition of what the park might look like. Looks interesting. Okay, so it's going to be the Worcester Red Sox, and I'm not a big fan of Worcester getting a baseball team. They've had 2 baseball teams here, and so far neither one of them have been able.
Yeah, but they weren't triple A teams.
Yeah, they were single
I
A.
know.
They were Can-Am teams.
No, they weren't even single A. Yeah, they weren't even single A. They
Yeah,
weren't.
oh,
affiliated.
They were Can-Am.
Yeah,
Who said
Can-Am.
Can-Am?
Yeah.
I said Can.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, well, that's what the Tornadoes were.
Right. And to
We
be
were
fair,
Can-Am.
they won a lot. So, but we're talking about baseball. And for those who aren't baseball fans, a triple A team is like, if there's the Red Sox or the X-Men, these are the New Mutants.
Yeah,
The
pretty
farm
much.
system, right? I mean,
Yeah. They're like the Wonder Twins to the Super Friends.
it's more what I said.
Oh God.
But
Moving on. This is already taking
Yeah, I
way
know,
too long.
I know. Well, anyway, when they were the Pawtucket Red Sox, it's still the Pawtucket Red Sox, but to give them a nickname, to say it, quickly, instead of Pawtucket Red Sox, we would say Paw Sox. Well, because now they're moving to Worcester in 2021, they decided to call them the Woo Sox, which is the lamest fucking nickname I have ever heard in my goddamn life.
At risk of making this far too long,
Yeah.
what would you call them?
Well, it would make. Well, let me put it. I would call it the Worcester Red Sox. I wouldn't give them a stupid ass nickname
they
like
need a-
Woo Sox. No,
they
don't
need a
that.
nickname. They
No, they don't. They don't need a nickname.
They do.
No, they don't. Worcester Red Sox. That's all it is.
No.
Or Red Sox. They don't need Woo Sox because, for starters, they're adding an extra O to accommodate the fact that Worcester does not have 2 O's after the W. So they got to stick in an extra O to make it Woo Sox. Okay? Now, if it was Woonsocket, then there would be, you can, oh my God, all you want, Aries. if it was in Woonsocket, then there would be no argument in this situation because at least WOO socket, Woonsocket, Woosocks. Okay, that makes sense. Right. Worcester, WOCESTER, WO. So they got to add an extra O to make it Woosocks instead of Wosocks. You know, if they're going to do that. Okay, so that already is stupid. Secondly, they're accommodating to the outsiders who keep on mispronouncing the goddamn city name. They pronounce it either Worcester or Worcester. I have heard Worcester before. So I'm like, really? You're really going to go there? So, and on top of all that, on top of everything else, they got, you know what? Boston has a really difficult issue with mascots. I hate the Green Monster, Wally the Green Monster for the Boston Red Sox. Hate them, hate it. I hate that fucking thing. Now we have, I don't know what his name is. I think it's Smiley because you know the what is
the
it?
smiley face.
The smiley face. Yeah. Have a nice day, smiley face.
It wasn't Forrest Gump, gang. That was a movie. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. It was created by a guy in Worcester, which I get. Harvey Ball, right? So I get the connotation there, but to use the smiley face as a mascot is just piss poor thinking. It's just awful. It's awful. I don't give a damn. And the worst part about all this,
Here's a Kappa.
what?
Here's the Kappa right here.
Okay.
Here's the Kappa.
And here's the worst part.
The bitch need my
Because-
nuts.
Is
Kino need my nuts.
that it's called the Woo Sox, which means, just for starters, Ric Flair is going to be throwing out the first pitch.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That's a given. You don't even have to be fucking a magician.
He can do a tour of Cumberland Farms right after and get some 99-cent coffee.
He could.
Coffee with
also-
flair.
First pitch with flair. A strikeout with flair.
Is that everybody in that fucking stadium is going to be wooing the entire game, and I do not have the kind of patience to put up with that shit. I can't do it, and I won't do it.
Woo woo woo.
I don't like the idea of it. I think it's stupid. I think I just do not like this. I don't like it one bit.
I'm sorry, Johnny.
And you know what? I'm a bit of a traditionalist. Keep the Red Sox in Pawtucket, please. I mean,
Why?
It's too late now, but
Why?
I think because for starters, I think McCoy Stadium is a fine park. I like that
It's
stadium.
old though.
So you're saying because it's old, it's worthless?
Yes.
For
It was more worthwhile for them to build a new park than to rehab that park. So you might as well move to a better location.
Well, if we're going to stick with that woo thing, then they should have moved to Woonsocket. I don't like this.
Worcester put up a better offer for
I'm
them.
sure they did. I'm sure that I don't know how many cities or towns put in bids, but I'm sure Worcester had to have been up there.
Well, since they got it, probably.
so MZ, the mascot's name is Smiley Ball.
Fuck you, Smiley Ball.
Smiley Ball Johnson.
I'm gonna
Okay, you know what?
I'm gonna take a shit on home plate.
What
That's what I'm gonna
what
do.
mascot would you have for the Woo Sox?
Oh, fuck you, Aries. Fuck you.
Because you know what? I'm not overly thrilled with that name, but I could not come up with a better one.
Right, yeah.
It works for the team. Because
You don't
like it or not, this team needs a nickname because no one is going to say the Worcester Red Sox.
I will.
That is too much.
I will.
They should have called them the War Sox.
I was saying that, Johnny. The War Sox, right?
Yeah.
Now that makes sense.
War Sox.
Yeah.
No, well that has
No,
like,
that sounds good. I didn't
no,
even
that
think-
sounds bad.
How?
Put
Why,
your
'cause it
War
sounds
Sox
like,
on.
Why? Because it sounds like Warsaw.
It
Yes.
sounds like war.
Oh,
We're going to war.
Oh no!
My God, y'all.
No,
What
not a
is
war.
it good for? Extra innings. Yeah. War. Stealing second.
Oh no, not a
Still
war.
second.
It's a balk, y'all.
Well, since we're in such a happy-go-lucky mood about just misspelling things, I say WRSOX sounds fine to me.
Well, there
It
you go. It's settled. Let's
Certainly sounds a lot better
put it
than
on our
Woo
bid.
Sox. Because everybody's going to be wooing the entire game.
That's kind of what they're hoping for.
No, that is not what I want.
Then don't go to a game.
You can't come.
Believe me, I'm not going.
They want crowd participation.
I'm not going.
You
there.
can't
Then
come.
don't go to a game
I won't go to
because
a game.
they want the crowd to woo. They want them to get
Oh.
pumped up. That's what every sports team. In case you were wondering, that was the sound of the microphone hitting MZ's head.
Did he dent it?
That was the oddest sound I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's very hollow in there.
Yes. And now the mic is dented. But sports teams want audience participation. What brings people in.
Then a 5-cent beer night.
I'd be there.
Star Wars night. Disco night.
5-cent beer night. What could possibly go wrong? The state.
Yeah.
All right, because of inflation, 50-cent beer night.
No, the state cannot do that.
That's not inflation.
No, I just hate the idea.
You had like 5 different posts.
No,
of
more
you.
than that, I think.
More than 5? I thought I was being outrageous. Saying
I don't know.
5.
Maybe 4, maybe 5. I really don't. I lost count.
And you were so mad.
Yeah, this
I'm
really
pissed.
angers you.
I am pissed. I am genuinely pissed.
I mean, it's
at
funny
this.
that the nickname for the last year is the name they chose. You know, it's
Well,
like,
because it was people voting.
and yeah, I mean, to be fair, even Larry Lucchino was like, yeah, we're hoping for some really creative suggestions.
Yeah, right.
but
yeah,
they didn't get any.
Yeah, you know what that's the the equivalent to?
Yeah,
When the WWF wanted to have people send in videotapes of who was going to be the next manager of the Body Donnas, and then after all was said and done, they picked out some guy named Cloudy.
You know
Okay,
what?
that's the equivalent. They
I
had
was-
something picked already.
Here's what's funny-
no.
You know what? Here's what's funny about that.
That was-
I was thinking the exact same fucking thing. He's a fucking maniac, Johnny.
No, you know what? They were looking for suggestions. No one gave a decent suggestion because every fucking asshole is like you, kept their mouth shut until it was revealed, and then went, "Fuck, that sucks. I'm not going."
And to be
Did
fair,
you give a suggestion?
Yes, I did.
What was your suggestion?
I'm not telling.
Transformer Park?
Michael Bay Park.
Yeah, the Bumblebee Red Sox.
What was your suggestion?
I didn't have any suggestions.
Yeah, see, so you can't fucking complain
I can't
because you
complain.
didn't give a suggestion.
I'll put it this way: I was a year ago in December. I was at Mechanics Hall and Lucchino was there asking suggestions because
did you get it? Did he get his ear?
he was too far away. Lucchino wasn't on the stage. We were, but my current organization is a key donator kind of thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sponsor.
Oh,
Yeah, so you know.
fucking Lucchino. Yeah,
But
Raven
you
Shadow,
know what,
tell
let
Larry
him
Lucchino to
Let
suck my
him finish
dick.
his thought.
Yeah, and they mentioned that, and no one said nothing. I mean, then you get like fucking the Canal Rats, or like there's no good names, the Wormtown fucking whatever the fuck. There's no.
Yeah, we
Good
could have had a
names.
fucking worm for a mascot.
Yeah.
Now
which is
wait a
dumb.
second. Wait a second. We're
What
looking
about the
at
worm socks?
well, wait.
Yeah.
We're looking at the
Go buy a
Worcester,
T-shirt.
the Worcester Red Sox. Who is saying that there has to be a nickname?
But there's going to be one.
There has to be one.
No, they
Because
don't
no,
have
wait,
to
stop.
be
Stop.
one.
Yeah.
We let you talk. You're gonna let us talk.
Go right ahead.
Because no one is going to say the Worcester Red Sox. They are going to shorten it. So the team is getting ahead of it and establishing a nickname.
So call it Worcester. Call it Worcester or call it Red Sox. You know,
You can't call it the Red Sox because that's Boston. And
You
you're
can
not going
call-
to say Worcester.
if you're in Pawtucket, you say Red Sox or you say Pawtucket.
No,
In
no,
Worcester,
say
you can
Paw
say
Sox.
You say
Worcester
paw
You say
socks.
paw socks.
You say paw socks.
or you could or Paw Sox. Okay, great.
that is all you say. They
All
are
right.
the Paw Sox.
Fine, Paw Sox. We'll go with Paw Sox, and that's fine, and it works. But Woo Sox, you gotta change the pronunciation of the city in order to make the nickname work, and that does not fly with me.
It should have been War Sox, in my opinion, or it's Polar Park. It could be the Po Sox. Who's buying that
Paw
T-shirt?
socks. P-O apostrophe socks.
I mean, you know what? Being that it's Polar Park and it's polar because of the soda and their mascot is a bear,
It
they
could
could
still
have
be-
kept it. They could have kept the bear mascot and still kept it the Paw Sox.
Yeah,
that's
being paw for
Yeah,
the bear.
why
is
Why
it
didn't
the
you
bear?
suggest that
My
then?
mom said that.
Why didn't you?
Because I don't have a problem with Woo Sox.
we have someone in the chat room. I think
And
I know who it is.
I don't like the name.
We have someone in the
Then
chat.
you should have spoken up,
I don't
and then
think-
you should zip your lip.
I'm not zipping anything.
Zip your
Not
lip.
my
You did-
lip, not my pants,
If
nothing.
you didn't suggest anything, you have no right to complain.
He's right.
That is America. Fucking
Oh.
vote or shut your mouth.
blah,
This year,
blah,
everyone
blah.
fucking vote. All right. Listen,
Please.
I don't know when the election
Yeah,
is,
You put your
but it's
finger
coming up
down.
soon. Vote.
Tell Larry Lucchino to come over here and suck my dick.
All right. Calm. Hey, Larry. It's your
Hey,
boy, Rick. Adam. Wants you to come. No, it's the chateau. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. It's because of the holiday. He wants you to come over and suck his dick. He said no.
You know what?
He said no.
I wish I was like paying attention to Facebook and saw all your fucking rants because I would have shut you the fuck up on Facebook.
He's still going. He's texting right
Yeah,
now.
he's. So we have someone in the chat room named Woo 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 Socks, and he says they should have been called the Worcester Blight.
The Worcester what?
Blight.
That's good.
I think I know who that is, pal.
It's because I didn't put in a suggestion doesn't mean I have no right to hate the name.
Hey, you have no right to complain about the name.
Oh, I have every right to
No, you
complain.
don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
You did nothing to change it, so you have no right to complain about it.
And if I was to put in just one suggestion, this whole argument would be...
You
null
would
and
have a
void.
right to complain if you had given a suggestion that they turned down. But because you didn't, you cannot complain about it.
I can complain.
You
about it.
can't.
I can and I will.
You can't.
Well, I will.
No, you can't. See that?
Oh shit! Producer Aries turned the mic off.
And it take them 5 minutes to turn it back on.
Come on. There we go. I'm back. I'm alive. No, I look, it's...
How about the meth socks?
That's almost appropriate.
Yeah, it's a little too
For
on the
Worcester.
nose.
Yeah. For Worcester.
How about the Pede socks? The Piedmont socks.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was going to bring that up. Oh, good old Piedmont Street. Let's go to the show. What do you say?
So let me catch up on some of the chatter going on here. Tim Nice is hanging out. He says, "Give it up, MZ. The college kids call it woo, buddy. That's why they did. That's why they did it. Nobody from where I grew up called it woo." And
Exactly.
Mars is hanging out and says, "Seems like a disproportionate amount of heat for a sports mascot. MZ, you sound so dumb." And
What is he? No.
Tim Nice says, "I'd be thrilled if the Nature Boy threw out the first pitch."
Well, you know that's going to happen. That's a
Well,
given.
you can't say you know it's going to happen.
That's-
They may
that's-
want it to happen.
That's an automatic right there.
I think
They got,
you know what?
they got
Hey,
more than 2 years. They got more than.
I'll bet you $10 he doesn't throw out the first pitch.
Oh yeah, like we're gonna remember this.
It's recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded.
I will bet you $10 he does not throw out the first pitch.
You know what? I'll take that bet.
Okay.
That
All
Ric
right.
Flair.
I bet that Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, the wrestler, does not throw out the first pitch.
as opposed to the
in
handyman.
the actual
I
season,
know I'm trying to cover all my bases here.
in the actual the first game of the
first game,
home opener.
of that park, he does not throw out the first pitch.
Well, wise ass. If you want to make it 10, why don't we make it 20?
Oh,
Oh yeah, make it 30
Fuck
make
off.
it 100
There we go. We shook on
Oh,
it. We
shit.
shook on that.
for 20.
See that?
For 20 or 10. Woo 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 Socks says the Worcester Raven Shadows,
Thank you.
and he says, "Could you imagine that logo?"
All the time.
It's gonna be a burnt out Raven with a cigarette in its
Yeah.
mouth.
Fastest team ever.
I have 4 different mascot designs already.
And that was in 30 seconds.
That's true.
It's gonna be a long-haired raven with a cigarette hanging out of its mouth.
Sold.
Tim Nice has the quote of the night. He says, "Way to go! I just lost it. Johnny's right. War socks. Johnny's right.
Yeah.
See."
He is right. He is right.
I was thinking war socks, but you said it before I did.
And Mars says, "You don't go any place, MZ."
The hell I don't.
He says, "I
What the
feel
hell?
like I'm tripping my balls off."
Where was the last place you went?
Walmart.
What do you mean the last place I went?
He said you don't go anywhere. So
I went to Subway before I got here.
okay, that wasn't like food related or picking up the missus at the bus terminal. Where did you go? Like, what entertainment venue did you attend?
Oh, trying to think.
Apparently,
Oh, no. Oh, I went to the movies. It's been a couple of months, but I went to the movies.
So Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Opening night.
And
Little movie called Shining.
And Woo 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 Socks says Bud Light will be the official sponsor for the Worcester Raven Shadows.
Yes. I
Or
mean, to be
Rolling
fair,
Rock.
not for nothing. It could be Dennis Leary could be doing that. It could be the Chris Evans, the Captain America. He's a fucking from the Worcester.
Chris
area.
Evans?
He's not throwing out the first pitch of the fucking Woo
He's-
Socks.
no. He's gonna come
No.
in the fucking
No.
here.
Chickless. Michael Chickless.
That'd be fucking dope too. Rob Zombie.
Dressed up as the Thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
Evil Corny says I need to start a petition for MZ to throw out the first pitch.
I'm gonna
Ooh.
drop. No,
Would you do it?
no, I'll drop a deuce on home plate.
Not the same thing. Play
I'll,
ball.
I'll throw out the first pitch. I'll throw out the first pitch. Take a picture with the catcher who caught the ball with the ball in our hand.
Just
the ball,
a bit outside.
The ball goes to the ball goes over to Coopersfield or Cooperstown rather.
Fuck.
Cooperstown, and then I just drop Tao and squat out turd.
Thank you.
Wow, that's so eloquent. So eloquently put there.
I like to see the umpire brush that off.
It's Enrico Palazzo.
Make sure you have some Art Radishes before you go.
Oh, you know I will.
Oh man, Woo 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 Socks has it all going here. This is a Raven Shadow Stromboli stand.
I would fucking love that, dude. I would sign 8x10s around
At the
that.
stand,
No.
He's getting a Stromboner just thinking about
I am
it.
getting a trombone.
Raven
Thank
Shadow.
you.
What
Now you're
what would be in your Stromboli? What's if you were making your you were choosing the menu? What would be in your Stromboli?
In one Stromboli or the whole menu? In my signature one?
No,
In
your
one,
signature one.
Raven
Yeah.
Shadow Stromboli. What would be in it?
It'd be pepperoni, various cheeses, some black olives.
Okay, don't say various cheeses. Mozzarella, provolone. What?
Munster,
You got to be specific. Don't
cheddar.
Gouda.
face the sky.
Don't even get me started on this microphone. Yeah,
There's
I'll
1,000
have
cheeses.
yeah, I'm gonna have 4 of them.
Name them.
Name
All
the
right,
cheeses.
provolone. Yeah, provolone, Fremunda,
Parmesan,
Parmesan, fucking
Mozzarella. cheddar.
That's
Yeah.
4. No, he's got 4.
American.
Yeah, 'cause
American's
this is
not cheap.
American.
American is not a cheese.
It's
dude.
not?
No,
Caucasian.
no.
The fucking
Munster,
a nice
Colby, Swiss, baby Swiss.
yeah, nice cheddar.
And I'm a sucker for baby Swiss. I love baby Swiss.
You're fucking weird. This is a weird tangent.
Baby Swiss.
Whoop sucks.
Some might say going on too long.
Goddamn.
That we went on too long 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, no, we'd have all kinds of fucked up. I put fucking acid in there. We'll fuck you up. Come down to the park.
Ugh,
Come
God.
down to the fucking Raven Shadow Stromboli stand.
Why isn't the polar bear the mascot? I just don't get it. It just
Well, fair, but not.
it
all right.
makes so much
All
sense.
right,
Because
Yes, it
you
does.
didn't vote. You didn't send your
fuck you
suggestion.
and your
And this is
voting
how-
ideas.
And this is how W fucking got the first election. All right, and this is how fucking the fucking small fucker over here. So what I think what this really has been a cleverly disguised bit to help the young people vote because your vote matters. Because when you don't vote, you become Monster Zero bitching on Facebook.
Shut up.
When's the election? November.
Will you shut up? Just shut up.
Listen, Democratic nominee. It doesn't matter who it fucking is. The Democratic nominee. Just vote for that motherfucker. You're not gonna like him
Or her.
or her.
Well, hopefully it's not her.
Yeah, who it is. The Democratic nominee. And then come to Stromboli fucking Park.
Oh, Woo 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 Sock says I agree with the polar bear, MZ.
Thank you. Yes. It makes so much sense.
Well, you know what? You can't say with MZ because MZ didn't fucking vote
Oh
for it.
my God! Shut up.
You know what? You should listen to your own advice.
Well, it's
Shut
better.
up.
It's better than listening to you.
Wow. That's your ride home.
No,
No, he's
we,
not.
we rode separately today.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
okay.
We
okay.
anticipated the fight, and
You guys are
I
good.
got the brains. I somewhat thought something like this would happen. All right, because I didn't vote, that means I have to like the name.
it doesn't mean you have to like the name. It means you can't bitch about the name.
Then how do I not like it if I can't bitch
You
about
can
it?
just not like it. Do you not understand the difference between like disliking and bitching.
Yeah, but I mean, a person who dislikes something needs to vent, especially
No.
if they,
No, they really don't. You can just quietly not like something. It is possible.
Not to me.
I quietly dislike almost everything.
When have you ever known me to be quiet about anything? Unless you guys are talking about Star Wars or comic books and shit.
And you don't like that. You quietly sit here and
Because I've got because I really have no input on those subjects.
You really don't have an input on the Woo socks, just
I
beyond
do
the
have
fact
an
that you don't
input.
like it.
I've given reasons to valid reasons.
Okay, because I'm not up on Facebook. We're not going to get into that. But why you didn't vote? So you just got to quietly shut up.
Well, I can't do that.
You can.
My
It's
DNA
easy.
won't allow it.
It's easy.
My
Watch.
DNA won't allow it.
Watch.
Wait, what is it that what part of your DNA since you did your
That's a
DNA
part of-
test?
Well, I don't know.
You're no
That's-
longer 1% North African.
I'm angry.
All right, we're gonna fucking move on. We have
Yeah.
a 3-hour movie to talk about. All right, so if you guys want to help support the show, we're actually going to be talking about what we're going to be doing for Patreon later on. So if you guys want to get in on supporting us on Patreon, head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And for as little as $2, you can help support the show. If you guys want that exclusive content we put out monthly, it's $5. Now, we've established what costs $5, and I'm not going to do that anytime soon again, Raven Shadow. I'm looking at you.
What? What?
That's
What'd you
10,
say?
that's 10 cigarettes. So if you guys
Oh,
smoke,
I finally have something for that.
you have
For
some-
cigarettes?
Yeah,
Oh,
well.
for the $5 thing?
Oh, no. Moving on. Go.
Is it quick?
No.
Raven
That was a
Shadow,
question for
is it
you.
quick?
Well, no, I mean,
Jesus.
all right. Well, yeah, maybe it might be quick. Every pay period, we do a little thing. Everyone in the office, we put $5 in for a little pool. We have a names on a little cap, so we kind of do like a lottery. So end of the day, someone might win, $25, whoever goes in. But sometimes you lose because you're just putting $5 in.
So you're just giving $5 away, basically.
Yeah.
And this way you could get something for it, is what you're saying.
I could get fucking premium content.
That's right, you could. So head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio and you can sign up. And we're going to be doing another film commentary because we got some good feedback on that. So we're going to be picking that later. And then we're also going to, because I'm actually going to head up to the Raven Chateau this upcoming weekend. And we're going to record some stuff. So we'll figure that out. So if you guys want to get in on that, patreon.com/trickortreatradio, or you can head on over to trickortreatradio.com. Black Friday's coming up. If you're listening to the podcast, it's today, or if you listen when it's dropped, or you're getting gift certificates and you're going to spend them on Amazon. What you do is you go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. And then everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. We get a tiny little cut, and it doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. Or you can head on over to trickortreatradio.com, click store. We get some digital content. We got the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3 and some other stuff. So give it a look and help support as best you can because, podcasting ain't easy, folks. It ain't free either. So any bit of help you can provide will be fucking awesome. All right, Raven Shadow. Man, you sit down to watch a 3-hour movie. What the fuck do you do to prepare for this one?
Oh, I got fucking limbo, Johnny. I fucking did some calisthenics.
You got Limba?
I got limbo.
I gotta ask. What are your calisthenics?
I do
No,
like-
don't ask. Don't ask.
Oh, I do like little jumping jacks. This
Yo,
stuff.
well, you can't do a jumping jack.
I'm intrigued to know what
I
this
can.
is.
He bent over, touched his knees.
I'm fucking tall. I can touch my knees.
He woke up.
But no, I knew. So I knew I had a plan. All right, I had a plan. 3-hour fucking extra long director's cut. Not a fucking Russo brother involved. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna do on Sunday. I figured it'd be like a rainy day in New England. You know, it didn't snow, but it rained. So that's what I'm going to do. So Saturday, I wanted to watch something I didn't really have to get stressed over. You know, something kind of fun. So I married over the house. We're vibing. We're doing that Saturday night thing, what we do in the shadows. But so looking to movies, and we're like, you know what? Let's watch a fucking Star Trek Next Generation. No, we watched the one where the motherfucker in the blue fucking outfit came out and wanted to fucking take Data and fucking peel him apart because he knew how to fucking deal with artificial life or smartness, you know, like artificial
Smartness.
Yeah.
Which is what you don't have.
Yeah.
Well, not a fucking synthesoid or whatever the fuck that Data is. And Data's like, no, you know, you don't really have a plan. I don't want to give you over. So Picard, he's like, you know what? You can't fucking take my boy. He's my fucking like second or third most important dude in the ship. I'm going to fucking vouch for you. So Picard comes out. He drops some fucking mad signs saying Data is a man, you know, and the fucking blue jumpsuit motherfucker had to go fucking back to where he fucking goes. Aries is getting pissed, but he knows what I'm fucking talking about. And he's kind of excited that I'm talking about Next Generation. So we watched that. And then we watched The Last Boy Scout on the Netflix. No one?
Okay. Yeah, of course.
I fucking love Lost Boy Scout. I saw that in theaters
Okay.
with Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. And funny about that, I think like Bruce Willis is chain smoking that entire movie. There's not one scene where he's not lighting a bud.
He's your hero.
Yeah. And then I forgot how it culminates with Damon Wayans riding a steed on a football field, throwing a football at the fucking douchebag politician that fucked up Bruce Willis's job.
Hey, spoilers.
It was fucking 90 whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
All right, just so you.
This is
So
what you
that-
did to prepare for a 3-hour movie. You watched 2 other movies.
I watched an episode of Star Trek Next Generation, and I watched The Last Boy Scout.
And then you watched the movie.
No, before that, I fucking strapped on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, you know, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh,
Don't say that.
That's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church. I
You
don't know.
just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now. Well, we can strive for
You
greatness.
guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really
just
are. You
say
got
that
a
again
great
slowly.
show.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
All right, we're back on Trick or Treat Radio. All right, we're going to talk about a movie. And that movie is Midsommar. Midsommar is rated R. The theatrical cut is 2 hours and 27 minutes. The director's cut, which is what we saw, is close to 3 hours. This is a drama, horror, mystery, but if you wanted to put it in a subgenre, I guess you could call this folk horror. And the film is written and directed by Ari Aster, and it stars Florence Pugh, Jack Rayner, Wilhelm Blomgren, William Jackson Harper, Will Poulter, Alora Torchia, and Archie Madaku. I don't know how to say that. Manekwi? Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. And the synopsis: a couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled midsummer festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. All right. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to unpack on this one.
All right, so let me... Raven Shadow not back yet. All right, well, fuck him. So, yeah, this film came out originally in July. It hit theaters July 3rd. And shortly after the theatrical run, I'd say maybe, 2 months or so, it got a limited screening of the director's cut. And so that one now is available on VOD. I think it's exclusive to Apple. You have to get it on iTunes or through Apple. But otherwise, you can just get the theatrical release on VOD or DVD Blu-ray as well. So this is the follow-up to Hereditary, which I'm still shocked that you guys haven't seen yet, especially MZ. I thought that would be right up your alley, but I know...
I am right on it, man. I'm gonna try and catch it ASAP.
All right,
because I know I want to see it, and I just haven't had the opportunity yet. But
yep. And so this is the follow-up film from director Ari Aster, and I believe it's only his second feature. Yeah, so he's done some shorts, and that's his second feature, which is pretty fucking crazy. Like, he comes out with Hereditary, which is lauded as one of the better horror films in the last 10, 15, 20 years by a lot of people, and then follows it up with Midsommar, which is a very bold vision. Whether or not, we liked it, we'll get into that, but it is a bold fucking film, especially to make a 2.5 hour film, and that's before the director's cut. So this is bold AF, as the kids say, Raven Shadow.
Bath.
What?
No,
Bath.
no, not Bath.
Why is it kid bath? Bold as fuck.
Ass fuck?
Bold as fuck.
Yeah, that's what you thought it meant. So, before we begin, we have a question from Woo 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 Socks, and he says, "Have you woke up in a car with a dead squirrel, Raven Shadow?"
One time that happened.
One time, huh?
Yeah, it was 99.
99. Wow.
Summer 99.
That was a dark year.
Yeah,
That's when you were NCW champion for a little bit.
What? Thank you. Say that again. Timestamp. NCW champion back in summer of 99.
The pressure of being champion got to him.
Well, listen.
Yeah, even David Arquette was a champion for a period of time.
Oh, he is right about that.
I know who wasn't.
Who?
Aries got a war.
Although he beat up the champion a few times.
Aries was fucking very good to me in the ring. Aries, you held me.
Ooh.
And watching that footage, I should have not have the ability to walk anymore.
Jesus Christ.
Aries was
fucking just move on.
Yeah.
Right.
We got to move on because this is a long.
We got a 3-hour movie review.
Yeah.
Come on. All right. Jesus.
All right, so I don't know, and we can't really go through this chronologically. It's going to be difficult to do so, but I'll try to summarize as much as I can. So, the beginning, we have Danny is played by Florence Pugh, And you know what's funny is, just a real quick note about Florence Pugh. She played Soraya Knight, which is Paige from the WWE in that movie Fighting with My Family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she played Paige in that WWE movie.
I kind of want to see that.
So apparently she, obviously she learned how to wrestle, I would imagine. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some stunt people, some stand-ins, but still, I'm sure she had to learn a little bit. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. So she did that and then jumped right into this, apparently. So I think I thought she did something else. I guess not. I thought she might have done something else that we've reviewed, but it doesn't look like she has. So
she reminded me of somebody I couldn't quite put my finger on.
Although
but
although she apparently is in the Black Widow movie as Yelena Belova.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They are her.
What's up?
Really? Well, those who don't know, and this kind of threw me off, segue, but now that we can stop some fucking baseball talk, is when Scarlett Johansson had the blonde short haircut in Infinity War. That was kind of like a nod to Yelena, because there was the early Marvel Knight series was another Black Widow was taken over for shit, I'm forgetting her name. Natasha. And Yelena had the blonde haircut, and it was kind of a nod where she was actually a Russian agent and trying to like take over the mantle type stuff. And I think she had 2 miniseries and didn't really go anywhere. So it's kind of interesting that she'll be doing that. Because I like that character.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So, all right. So we'll jump into this. And so Danny is, at the beginning, there's a very kind of intense scene with her, her parents. And so the sister Terry kills herself and the parents by filling the home with carbon monoxide. And like just that whole thing was really kind of intense, where she was like, trying to contact them. And what did you guys think of that off the bat?
From the jump, I mean, there's definitely some potential trigger warnings in this flick.
Yes.
It could be
yes, for sure. Yeah.
And it could be uncomfortable for some people.
But I mean, this something like this. I mean, it has to be done delicately in order for it to be effective. I mean, you see something like this in really any other film, taken in by any other director, and yeah, you see what the problem is. You realize, okay, 3 people are dead because of monoxide poisoning, but it's always handled in a way that's like kind of put on the back burner because bigger things are afoot later on. The way it's done here is done very effectively in terms of its editing and the reactions that are involved. I think the reactions involved in this scene was done very, very well, very effectively. I think it has to be taken in a certain way. The way like you see the scene where like the camera sweeping from, what was it? It was an overhead shot sweeping from right to left as the body bags are being zipped up and the parent,
Very De Palma scene going on.
Yeah, and it's done with some dissolves and things like that, with some serious ass mood lighting, somber music playing, not death music or anything like that, but just it just takes that key that's just very, very uneasy to deal with when you're watching it. And when I saw that, I knew I just had a feeling because I haven't seen Hereditary yet. I had a feeling that I was going to be watching something very, very special here, just on that alone.
I'll agree with everything you said, except for you threw in the word delicate. I would not use that term at all for
No, I mean,
opening.
No, I don't mean the it's delicate. I mean it has to be handled delicately. Is what I meant.
But this wasn't handled delicately. This was just in your face. It was what it needed to be. It wasn't delicate at all.
No. I mean in the hands of the director. That's what I mean in terms of handle it delicately, handle it just the right way. That's how I meant. Not.
I mean, I'm either I'm not understanding or I'm disagreeing. Like he handled it appropriately, but there was nothing delicate about it. I don't understand the delicate word
but I
there.
think it means it wasn't like gratuitous.
But that's not. It's not black or white. There's a gray area. I'm sorry. Like
maybe I used a poor choice of words. Maybe appropriate is the better word.
Yeah, because like absolutely nothing was delicate about this, but there was nothing wrong with it. Like I'm just because I am harping on one word because that is a very important word with this with what we saw. There was absolutely nothing delicate about this. This was 100% in your face. It launched this movie. It showed you like what everything MZ said except for remove the word delicate. You know what? Yeah. I'm staying with that.
And let me just quickly read. Woo 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 Sock says, I watched this in the North Reading Library with 2 65 and 80-year-old women. I wish I had filmed it. MST3K vibes off the charts. Wow.
Now, fascinating. When is that showing?
That must have been an interesting watch.
And why are you at the North Reading Library, sir? That's.
And he also says the way the boyfriend handled it was very grounded in reality, reassuring her they were okay on the fallout. Yeah, it's a really intense scene, and it is a great sort of introduction to this movie. It really kicks things off in a kind of a grand fashion, I guess, if you will. So one of the main sort of through lines in this movie, and we'll probably be touching on it a lot, is the relationship between Danny and her boyfriend Christian. And I think that incident kind of put even more strain on their relationship, which already seemed like it was kind of strained. And he's very sort of emotionally distant. And so, and he's, what was he, anthropology student or something like that. And so she learns that he and his friends have been invited by Pele to attend the Midsommar celebration in his family's commune or whatever, And so he basically explains that this celebration occurs do you guys remember what it was? Every
90 years.
90 years. Okay. And so Christian kind of didn't tell Danny about it, and the two kind of argue about it. And then he sort of, to try to make amends, Christian kind of reluctantly invites her. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll come. Almost like he's like, fuck, So that's sort of the setup here. We have this very traumatic experience, and then there's a lot of, sort of like, and there's a lot, this movie's 3 hours. There is a lot of scenes where they really focus on the relationship between Danny and Christian and the friends, and a lot of these scenes are able to really play out to maximum effect. Now, I could see people not liking that because this is a long movie and it meanders and it builds. And I could absolutely see people not liking that. But
yeah, this is definitely not a first date movie.
Well,
it could be a last date movie.
Depends who your date is.
Yeah, well, I think even the regular cut, you wouldn't want to take a first date to this movie.
Yeah, like don't go out for ribs. Don't go to our brunch for your first date, and then don't watch, fucking, Dear God, no. But I think when we see Christian, he's kind of like cable TV Star-Lord, right? Chris Pratt. He's got kind of a Chris Pratt kind of vibe.
He kind of does. He kind of does.
So you must have hated him then, MZ.
Well, you know what? I had a lot of reasons to hate this guy, and I'm sure a lot of other people did too.
Do you hate him more than the Worcester Woo Sox?
Let's really back to that.
No, I think But I think when you find out that him and his boys are going on a trip, you're thinking, oh, it's gonna be like Euro trip. They want to go and fucking go to all the fucking, go to Amsterdam, fucking get pot and fucking get, brothels and stuff like that. And you think like, oh, I invited Danny. She's not gonna come, but I invited her. Like it's kind of like his scheme was to like.
Yeah, he was like trying to show to her that he loves her, or at least give her the impression that he loves her. Right. Meanwhile, he's banking on the fact that she's not going to go because he feels that she doesn't go anywhere because she's got some serious issues of her own outside of the death of her family, and his friends are basically trying to talk him out of getting out of this relationship, and he's not exactly sure how to handle it. And when they find out that she's on board with them to head out to Sweden, they're like, well, okay, we're going to try and make the best of this.
But I think what changes though, I had a certain impression of of the friends, and then when you learn about, is that how you pronounce it, Pele?
Yeah, Pele.
Like
Pele.
The soccer player, right?
Pele.
Yeah, Pele. And the other dude who actually is legitimate interest in this for his school thesis,
Josh.
They're not just horn dogs going out away. I mean, one dude maybe is, but like, it's not crazy National Lampoons go to fucking Sweden type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's brought along, and then it takes a turn. And I mean, it is slow, but I'm invested at this point.
Okay.
Because I don't know anything about this flick. I just know it took place, in Midsommar. The new cover of Fango has a certain character on the cover, and I've got positive feedback from people who I respect their opinions and friends about this. So I'm like, okay, but I still don't know really what it's all about. But I'm in on the journey at this point.
Okay. So, and then at this point, they basically all fly to Sweden. So Danny does, in fact, go. They kind of walk to the commune. It's not, you don't drive right to it. You have to definitely hike there. And so they meet some other people there, and they're all sort of like going up there. And Pele's, Ingmar, I think was his name.
Ingmar,
yeah. And
yeah, he's my same name as my bug guy, so I know that.
Oh.
And bug guy?
Yeah, the guy who sprays my lawn, his name is Ingmar. Then he sprays my lawn for ticks and bugs and shit.
Okay, sorry. Moving on.
I mean, not the same actor, but he's an actor.
No. I got you. No.
The name's Ingmar.
Okay, we get it.
And so he offers them a psychotropic drug, just to kind of chill out and take the edge off a little bit of traveling and everything. And so, and then Danny starts having some hallucinations of her sister. And so then at that point, I'm trying to remember now, because is this where the elders? Oh, so then they have like the big event, if I'm remembering this correctly, where the elders kind of do their thing. Am I missing something in between?
Yeah, just to get ahead. So they all show up. Pele's introducing them to his air quotes family. And what also was telling for me was that Ingmar brought two other folks, brought some guests as well.
Yeah. Another American couple, I think.
Yeah, so Pele brought his crew, and then Ingmar brought a couple there. So that kind of stood out for me. And the first thing they do is they're in the field. They haven't reached their final destination yet, but they all take, I assumed it was acid or mushrooms, some kind of fucking.
Yeah, well, psychotrope.
At one point, someone does say, you can take these mushrooms as an alternative to what they were taking.
Oh, the tea was the alternative too. Was the tea?
Well, that was their hallucinant.
Hallucinogenic.
Yeah, what he said.
Which sometimes whiskey's fine.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect, unless you want to say
hallucinogenic.
Yeah, there we go. But I feel it's like not really defined. It's their own thing because they don't specify. It is just the tea.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was definitely acid or some
But she-
kind
but
of
she didn't wanna-
peyote.
I
or
mean,
like-
it's something.
Yeah.
It is an hallucinogenic. Hey, I got it.
Yeah, it's really good.
There we go. But it's not specified because they did go out of their way to say take these mushrooms as an alternative, but they never really specify. So it is. I mean, some of the effects are different than normal, just acid or mushrooms or whatever. Like there were times where I was like, well, she looks like she's on ecstasy. Like it is definitely their own thing that is unspecified, that is unique to this movie. I'm sure it is something that doesn't truly exist.
I can get it for you. What do you want?
Oh, aren't you the miracle man?
I am a fucking miracle man.
She didn't want to, and she didn't want to take any part of that. And then when when Christian's friends were starting to be like, she's getting to be a real downer, she's starting to decide, okay, I'll take it. So she in this Danny in this movie is very, very giving to just have things progress and just to allow people to have their good time and not to interfere in what might be happening later
Part
on.
of that was important, though. If you are going to take drugs, you got to be on the same page. And if you take it, if MZ takes it at 7:00 and Aries takes it at 9, it's going to fuck up the overall experience.
You're going to be on a different trip.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a
And
different-
they
it's a
say
different
that.
thing. They specify that. And I mean, obviously, Danny is, despite her issues, she tries to accommodate, and I think Christian takes advantage of that.
Well, she's very accommodating throughout the whole film, really.
And then you can definitely see, to armchair psychoanalyze their relationship, is she's putting more into this relationship than he is.
Much more. Yeah, it's
Definitely.
It's very evident.
But I mean, well, you can also see in this where she didn't want to go on this trip, so she kind of has a bad trip.
Yeah, literally and
yeah. Oh yeah, and no,
yeah.
I'm speaking in the acid sense of it. She has a bad trip because she is not 100% on board with that, and that happens.
She wasn't ready. She's like, let me just chill, do my thing, and like, I don't get fucked up yet because we're fucking in a fucking field.
So does that? I mean, does that happen if you fight the trip? It makes your trip even more
You
intense.
need to be 100% on board with it.
I wouldn't know. I've never been.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that you need to be on board with it, and you need to know you're doing it.
Okay.
Like if we were just to slip you something, oh my God, you would have a bad trip. Like,
give that to him.
Yeah, it would just take a sip of that. Yeah. No, it would fuck your shit up.
I can only imagine what it must be like for me.
Yeah.
But like anything else, if you're in a pissed off mood and you start ripping down shots, you're gonna fucking want to fight somebody. If you're feeling fun, your team won Game 7, a different mood. So it's your mood is gonna affect your high, regardless of what it is. But care to say from the jump, my favorite character was the friend who I think was in Black Mirror.
Yeah, Bandersnatch. Yeah,
Bandersnatch, rather.
Yep.
Bandersnatch.
Yeah,
Well, you talking douchebag?
Well, listen,
Will Poulter
Mark?
is the name of the actor.
Mark.
And he was saying what I was thinking when they pulled over in that field, and he's like, "Look at all these bugs."
I was like, that's fucking Raven Shadow.
And I'm like,
He's
in
spirit
my head,
animal.
I'm talking to Ollie. I'm like, check for ticks. And he's like, all these bugs are around.
And he was bitching about ticks,
yeah.
but yet he was sucking on the douchebag stick.
Well, listen, who hasn't done that?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? His fucking vape pen.
Yeah,
I don't fucking vape.
Yeah,
dude.
I know. But like, could you not get any more like on the nose? The douchebag is sucking on the douchebag stick.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You know.
Oh, well, I'm an asshole. I smoke on cancer sticks, so it's a little bit different.
All right.
And
right.
our pal Anthony points out the camera flips on the ride in.
Yeah, that weird fucking.
That was amazing. Something so simple, because after a while, during that scene when they're driving down the road and the camera's upside down, after a while, I don't know about you guys, but after a while, I know it felt like the sky became the road and the road became the sky, and all of a sudden just kind of started making sense in a weird, bizarro world sort of way.
They did such a good job of portraying the 4 hours without making you sit there for 4 hours.
The conversation's going on.
Yeah, it was.
you know,
Yeah,
it's
it blended nicely. That camera work, but it's just like, you were like, oh my god, let's just get there. And it's like, okay, we've been watching this for 3 minutes. Like, not that much time has passed, but they projected that very well.
Yeah, they got tired of talking to each other after a while.
And she felt it too, where she like wasn't part of that conversation.
Oh, instantly,
where, you know,
because
like, she was just in the room, in the car with these dudes.
Yeah, instantly, because all it was guy talk.
Like,
There was no way she was going to get herself involved in that.
So picture any one of our significant others on a ride from here to like fucking a convention. They want to fucking probably hang themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me read a comment real quick from our buddy Dainanda. He says, hey, what's up, people? I haven't seen Midsommar yet, but it's high up on the list. Have none of you seen Hereditary? You mother effers are slipping. It's great. I think it suffered from being hyped too much. I'm watching for a bit on break at work, eating a big-ass salad because I'm fat. I'm working on it, even trying some vegan stuff, Wolfie. Beetroot bean burgers were nice. We'll try to watch the Aussie rape revenge movie. Wasn't sold because of the abuse, but Aries said some powerful words about it. Have a great show. I've been laughing my ass off lately. All right, Dane, thank you, buddy. And
shit, if he's gonna watch that on my recommendation, I'm so sorry.
Well,
watch it, but I'm so sorry.
And the movie he's talking about is The Nightingale. And so
like comedy.
So Dane, just so you know, I have seen Hereditary. I'm the only one. I got to see it in the theaters, and I loved it. And I guess I'll tell you after I give my verdict whether or not I like this better or not. But so that I also agree with you. I think they did a great great job of just showing the time pass, you know, and you know, it may have, some of the scenes may have outstayed their welcome a little bit, but it wasn't, to me, for a 3-hour movie, it wasn't excessive to the point of like, fucking move on, you know? Like, I just thought it was well paced, and I thought it was, everything in this had a purpose, you know? And this fucking builds and builds and builds, and then it's just, because of that, it really pays off well, I think.
I would agree too, because you're waiting for like, as the characters get where they're going, you're kind of filling in the blanks. Or okay, well, this is going to happen. Oh, really? And to the dialogue when they're talking about the rituals and the events, you know, and they made a point. I mean, there's a little like Logan's Run type reference they make, you know, when they talk about the seasons. And I don't think it's a spoiler when they say like, okay, if you're this age to 37, you're a youngling.
Yeah.
And it's your spring. I'm like, well, fucking 37, really?
Yeah. I caught that too, which is why I and this is my opinion. I don't know if it's fact or not. This is just my opinion. That everything that happens in this movie and everything that happens to Danny, I keep forgetting. I think that it all. I don't know if I should say it.
I'm. You know what? I think I know what you're saying, and don't. I think I know what you're gonna say, and don't.
All right. I'll stray away from that point. I'll make another point. That Danny was played out perfectly in terms of the the festivities going on, because I was going to bring this up too, where they said that the ages of people are like seasons. 1 to 16 is spring, 17 to 32 is like summer, and so on and so on. Yeah. And whereas Danny is a girl in her mid-20s, which means she would be midsummer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
So that kind of plays itself out, and also to the point where it's the 90th anniversary, or not 90th anniversary, but every 90 years they have this festival, and it's her birthday, where Pele is really the only one who makes note of her birthday.
And that's why he was so excited. Like, it wasn't like, bro, my fucking fucking friends, girlfriends come. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm very excited that you're coming.
He created a present for her and everything, a hand drawing of her and everything. So
Yeah.
he was really the only one who got her anything. And that kind of and all this kind of plays out in my mind to something later on. And maybe Aries is agreeing with me on this. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him about it. There's a shit ton of foreshadowing in this movie. I've never seen a movie with so much foreshadowing before in my life.
I mean, yeah, there's no surprises. I mean, it gives it away. There's dialogue that gives things away.
Oh, I'm not talking about the dialogue. I'm not
no,
talking about the dialogue. I'm talking about the paintings, the murals, the inside the walls of the buildings that they accommodate.
There's a lot of heavy-handed stuff in this movie, but there is also a lot of subtle things as well.
Right.
Yeah, and it all blends so wonderfully, and it's all so beautifully done. There's even foreshadowing in Danny's bedroom. There's a painting in her bedroom that shows some unbelievable foreshadowing.
Which one? I don't know what you're talking about. Or can you not say?
Yeah, because I
don't want to say. I don't want to say. I mean, I think I think just the fact that I said painting in her bedroom.
Yeah,
because you know what? I mean, I missed it.
Yeah, I did too.
I
Yeah,
didn't even see it. So
okay.
So for those who haven't watched the movie, keep an eye out for the painting in the bedroom.
It'll give it all away.
Spoiler alert.
So, and one other interesting thing about this, and you guys obviously don't know because you haven't seen Hereditary, but Hereditary was a very, very dark movie in terms of lighting. It like, if I recall correctly, almost all of it took place at night. And this is the complete opposite. This is such a bright movie, you know? Almost everything takes place during the day. And it's almost a little bit creepier in that sense because that's, you know, and this isn't like a straight up horror movie. This is more of a, you know, I don't know if you'd call it like psychological or thriller. I don't know what, or it's hard to characterize, you know.
It's a breakup movie.
Sure.
In its purest form, it's a breakup movie. But it's also, when you watch it, when you think about it, it's a backwards. It's a horror movie played in reverse.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to need you to explain that one.
Yeah.
I think I know what he means, though. I think I know what he means. Yeah.
I can't really explain it. There's a lot of spoiler.
I really, you know what? I really wish you had driven with me tonight so we could talk like right home. Because there's a lot. Like, yeah, I don't understand what you're talking about.
I guess
I'm curious.
Aries, look at her character arc, where it starts and where it ends, and then reverse it. I think that's kind of what he means. Is that right, MZ?
That's exactly what I mean.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
And I could see that.
Yeah, no. Okay. I'm with you there.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of it like that. So
yeah.
It's interesting how, you know, I think that he really takes the genre and turns it on its head a little bit with this because, you know, it is, like I said, I wouldn't call this I think this is absolutely a horror movie, but I wouldn't characterize it as a movie with jump scares and tons of you know, typical horror. This is a movie filled with dread and intensity. You know, I think is maybe a good way to characterize it, especially that opening scene and kind of where it heads and a lot of the stuff that happens. But I think where was I think it was maybe about 90 minutes in, I hope I'm remembering correctly, where things take a turn. Is that about, do you guys think it was about halfway?
Talking about the cliff scene?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give or take. Maybe a little bit more, but somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was to be no surprises. If you watch it, you kind of know, like, oh shit, they're doing this now.
Yeah. So this is, you know, two of the elders, you know, when they get to a certain age, I guess it's not too much of a spoiler, but it happens pretty far in. There's a certain ritual that's
cycle of life.
Cycle of life, and a ritual that they partake in, and it's very sudden and shocking when it happens,
especially with the way it's filmed.
Yeah.
You know what?
It isn't. It isn't just what happens. It's how it's filmed.
Yeah, it's not delicate.
No,
Not delicate at all.
And it's gruesome at points.
Yeah, but as soon as they start talking about it, you knew exactly where it was going, and you're like, at least me, like the characters are like, how do you not know what you're doing right now? Like, I know where you're going. How do you not know where you're going? Like they were all shocked. All the characters are like, what's going on? I'm like, you know what's going on. Like, fucking think about it. He told you.
And was something that stood out for me was when they got there, and everyone kind of was in their gear. This community, which some might say a cult, whatever it was. This group in their stark white gear. I think what stood out so much was the Americans and the Europeans in their street clothes.
Yeah, they really stick out like a sore thumb.
Was definitely the dichotomy between the two. And as they're all there in mass, you knew exactly who to zero in on for the reaction.
They separated them, I'd say intentionally, because you saw the group with the two other. I guess they were European. I don't know.
They were English. They were from England.
Oh, okay.
I believe they mentioned they were from England.
I missed that or forgot that or whatever. But you had those two, but they were in that block of people, and then the Americans were off to the side.
Yeah.
Like obviously it was intentional, but I missed the why it was intentional. But like it was so like there's the three of them in their dull drab tones off to the side of everyone else in their bright whites.
Yeah, but how often have we been to places, areas where we've stood aside in our dull black leather?
But you know what? They weren't in the back. They were off to the side. That was an intentional, especially because of the framing of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what? I am not beyond saying this. There's a lot in this movie that I did not understand.
Yes, you did. You're first.
This movie is smarter than me. There was a lot like. I probably got some of it, but there was a lot like there's something going on. I don't quite get it. I wish like I'm going to read up. Like I didn't have enough time before this episode to read up on this movie, but I do want to do more research on this movie and understand a lot more of this movie because there is so much going on in this movie.
Yeah. There is a lot to unpack in this film, and another thing is the use of runes in this movie as well.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, Johnny, you wanted to jump onto that subject. Because I know you and T-Dog are all about the runes.
Yeah, T-Dog knows a lot more than I do, obviously. But
so just tap her in and step out.
Yeah.
Because they used there were two symbols that they used for in runes that were prominent in this movie, and that would be the R.
I think it's Rido if it is, yeah.
For ride, right, and also the hourglass, which stood A. And those two symbols play a big part in the big culmination in this movie.
Yeah.
Also the feast and also not just to go back. Also, if you notice the table that they eat at outside also portrays that as well. Uses that rune ideology because it's shaped like one.
Yeah.
What was I going to talk about?
I forgot.
It'll come to me. There's so much to unpack in this movie.
But I think so the characters are not only they flew from fucking American to Sweden. I think it's a couple of fucking hours, right? Then they drive 4
hours.
Yeah. Hours. A long fucking time, right? Like I flew fucking 8 hours from fucking Boston to fucking
Boston.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where I don't know. I don't know where in the United States they were starting from.
Probably California.
Maybe. I don't know. Who cares?
But they flew from, so not only the States, they flew to fucking, maybe layovers. They flew over to fucking Sweden. 4 hour fucking ride. Get there, take fucking hallucinogenics, and now you're in this fucking ritual. Your mind's fucking going. You know what I'm saying? It's a weirdness.
Is it doing that really?
It's my mind's doing it right now, and I fucking haven't left the fucking country.
For some reason, I believe that.
But so a lot's going on. So they see a ritual, and okay, so like when in Rome or when in fucking Sweden, shit gets fucking askew. But it's kind of odd, right? So they bring all their own emotional baggage to the table, and still dealing with. But you can it kind of makes sense, right? So if 72 is the Logan's Run age, that's a pretty good spot. I'm not going to make 72 without jumping off cliffs.
Well, I think most people have you in the Trick or Treat Radio death pool, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty maybe 55, 60.
You're pushing it.
But other than that, you guys can have my comics. I mean, like, but 72 is a good fucking run. That makes sense. Then shit gets a little more weirder. Am I right in that?
Well, first of all, there's a tense there's tension going on in the friendship between Christian and Mark because they both want to have the
thesis.
The thesis.
Well, that's
the
Christian's being a
soul
douche.
rights.
But that's a little later on in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Christian, tries to because what was it? Was it Mark was doing the?
Josh.
Okay, Josh was doing the.
Josh.
Yeah,
Josh was originally doing the thesis because he had already had it approved, and so Christian was like, "Oh, I'm going to do mine on this too." He's like, "Do you mind?" And he's like, "Yeah, actually." So that definitely created a little bit more tension as well. So, Christian was getting major heat from everyone pretty much.
And also, if you watch, I don't know if you caught this or not. I caught it. I had to rewind it just to be certain. But there's a shot of Josh's feet in this movie, in which he's wearing blue Nikes. I think they were Nikes.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a reference to the Heaven's Gate.
I think that it was a little bit of a reference to that.
I think that was reference to Heaven's Gate.
When he was in bed.
Yeah, he was in bed.
Yeah.
He pulled the blanket over. The shoes were out there.
Yep.
I think it was a little bit of reference to that, but also kind of showed his uneasiness of being there.
Yeah.
And that's
because you know what? Speaking of myself,
right, I know
if you put me in a fucking barn and told me to sleep with however many people, like even just 4 strangers, fucking my shoes are on, my bag is packed. If something happens, I am up and grabbing that bag. If it's not in that bag, I'm not taking it with me.
He wasn't.
And I think that is part of it. Like he was just ready to go at any point.
That's what I thought too.
He knew, he understood what was happening there, because there was references even as they were entering. The douchebag, what's his name? Mark made the Waco reference as they were walking into this place.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know what? If I understand that, like, if any part of me, like, Waco, like, I am not entering that, whatever that entranceway they created. I am stopping and I'm turning around.
Yeah.
You know what? Because he understands that. Like, Waco, cult, shit is bad beyond here. Like, I don't fully understand their motivation to continue on. I understand they were friends with one person, but you know what? If it's a cult, that cult is there to bring people in.
Two, it's your college boy. Is it really your friend? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
like,
but that's what I mean. Like you're in until you realize it's a cult, and then you're out unless they've already got you.
Yeah.
They haven't got you. You haven't fucking walked in yet. You know it's a fucking cult.
And they took all their gear too. Notice how they took
as soon as they entered.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's what I mean. They had
backpacks
their
on,
shit.
everything.
That's it. They were done. They were doomed.
And taking off your shoes is a fucking big fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like anywhere. Your coat, keep your fucking gear on you because you never fucking know when you're gonna fucking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shoes on.
yeah.
I'm sure his bag was packed.
Yeah.
At the slightest thing, he could have been up and out.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the only smart one in the group.
That would have been Aries, yeah, for
I
sure.
also did feel that had to do with the Heaven's Gate cult.
Oh, 100%. That's why there was Nikes. That's why there were blue Nikes.
Right. Exactly.
But I took it as
He's right. That because they were blue Nikes.
I took it as being fucking uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. I mean he had his shoes on so he could run.
Yeah.
But they were like, we're gonna make these fucking things blue Nikes.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah. That was a deliberate move.
Yeah.
It was very,
that was
smart.
not a necessary thing. They could have been Adidas, but it was just like we're gonna like wink, nod, you get it? Yeah. Blue Nikes.
Here's some Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot of other reference to other movies in this. That The Shining. There's a reference to The Shining as far as the overhead shot of the car driving.
Yeah.
You know, you get that drone shot, and also of course Wicker Man, and really Wicker Man sequel, not sequel,
Wicker Man
remake.
2.
Remake. You get there's
Wicker.
There is a deliberate, definitely part of the storyline that's attentive to the Wicker Man remake.
Yeah.
And of course Wicker Man. You can't. I mean, there are certain parallels from this movie to the Wicker Man that are just totally obvious, and you can't miss them. You know, I mean, even almost shot for shot redoings of scenes. It's almost, you know, crazy how close they are, but it's not ripping off.
No,
I don't think it's ripping off.
I think it put a good spin on it. I think it took a modern. It took a good bringing the characters to the haunted house, in this sense, where bringing the normies to the cult was an interesting spin, right? I mean, this is a cult movie.
Yeah. Well, it's not. And the way they did it is interesting. It's not original, but it is interesting.
And I'm not a cult. I mean, I like cult cinema. Like I like fucking Toxic Avenger.
You like
like
outside
that.
the cinema, cult cinema.
Yeah, they're good. I like that stuff, but I don't like fucking cults. You know what I mean? I hate it when Spidey went in the fucking Web of Spider-Man storyline, when Betty fucking Brant was fucking hooked up. I hated that. Dave, every couple of years, there's always some like white long-haired guy with glasses who thinks he's the fucking Messiah. You know what I mean? Don't fucking trust those.
Look in the mirror,
guys.
Hey, David, you want to look in the mirror?
David Ravenshadow. Michael Koresh.
Let's go to commercial.
What do you do in your cult? Do you have everyone smoke cigarettes, drink Bud Light, and eat Strombolis?
Oh, it's a pretty good fucking weekend, though. I'll tell you that much. But listen, what fucks me up is the dudes who want the fucking more than one wives. Like, dude, really? You want fucking more than one? Like, those fucking guys. Like, I love fucking,
You gotta stop there. I love fucking.
You
know what? If you're smart, you can make the wives fight among themselves.
Yeah,
and then you're all free and clear.
That's a hard time. Don't do that. Don't get asking for trouble. But don't.
But then they start engaging.
Things become clear all of a sudden. I have a weird.
But then they start engaging in makeup sex, and you're not a part of it, and that kind of sucks.
You just watch the footage after.
Yeah. Don't join cults. That's bad for you.
So, I think we were talking about that gruesome cliff scene. I don't want to talk too much more about it because I think it's better if you just kind of don't know what to expect. But that's
very effective. How about that?
Yeah, very effective. Things start to pick up here, and then like there's sort of the unraveling a little bit of the relationship between Christian and Danny, and then there's also that sort of side character, the redhead that had the crush on Christian.
Oh, Maya.
Maya, that's it, yeah. And so that was sort of interesting how that was sort of developing.
Yeah.
And I will say, so I know I'm jumping ahead here, but it's just on my mind. So the scene with Maya at the end with Christian and Maya during their big scene, so to speak, there were people in the theater that were fucking laughing out loud. Now, that scene is a little awkward, but yeah, people thought it was fucking hilarious. It was pissing me off. Like,
what? There was nothing funny about that scene.
Well,
it was weird.
Hot.
No, it wasn't even hot.
Christ.
You are fucked up.
You are fucked up.
Top 10 most fucked up podcast co-hosts. MZ 1 through 10.
Yeah. No, it was very, and they actually
Three ropes.
It wasn't graphic, but it was
No, not at all.
No, I mean although what kept it real was the hand placement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
One of the 12.
No.
And putting their hands on his ass.
No. Well,
when you're old enough and you have sex, you'll understand.
Fuck.
Oh, I can't wait.
We should go plug into an outlet.
Well, I mean that's just yeah, but that's just
well,
you know, that's just particular body placement. That you know, you do particular body placement, particular camera
He's not
placement.
He's still not getting it.
Wait,
He's still.
I am missing out on what you're talking about then, because I think I
You know what? It's such like it's a non. It's really it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We just understood what it's moving on.
So yeah, that scene, it was annoying too because like I was in a packed theater. I saw it. I don't know if it was opening night. It was close to opening night, and there was like teenagers fucking like bursting out in laughter. And it's a pretty intense moment in the movie, you know? I think
it's kind of cringeworthy too.
Yeah. I think it might be maybe baby's first nude scene or something like that because people were like, what the fuck?
The age of the character.
Yeah.
Not in real life, but the
Sure.
character, whatnot, like, and the scene, like, there was nothing sexy or fun about that. And it was real. I mean, like, no shame in the game. Anyone who was in that scene, good for you. You know what I mean? Like,
good for you.
No, there was no. What do you fucking do? Real fucking people doing real naked shit.
Oh yeah, well yeah. The fact that they didn't find 20 models to put in this scene. These were real people.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
fine.
Which
Good for
is
them.
great.
I think that's the thing, though. I think people were like, oh my God. Like, that's what really put it over
they're
the
not
top for them.
seeing somebody who's looking all frumpy and naked at the same time.
But yeah, they're just real. I mean, they were real in a fucking weird fucking demonic dojo.
Demonic dojo.
But and even we had definitely some no shame and no fucking specifics, but there was definitely some full frontal male nudity in this movie.
Oh yeah.
You know,
MZ really wants to do a nude scene in a movie.
not a lot of manscaping. Just saying.
MZ doesn't need to manscape though.
He is so smooth. It sucks how much I think about that.
Oh my God, that does suck.
Yeah, it's weird how it pops in my head like a weird, like it's like getting like Britney Spears toxic stuck in your head. Like
you guys need like 10 minutes alone.
What are
or
you
something?
involving me in this for?
No, because he's fantasizing about you.
Yeah,
No,
you think I
no.
want to be a part of that?
No, there's just sometimes I think about how hairless you are.
Jesus Christ!
Like I said,
Knock your shit off.
you guys can have 10 minutes and you go next room and you could show. And,
No.
And it'll have that weird
A little
moment.
show and tell.
Yeah, it'd be like having like a turkey dinner. I'm like, huh?
You can meet Rufus and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
show and tell, or rub and tug, and everyone's happy.
Rub and tug.
So smooth. So weird.
So our pal Anthony says the 65 and 80-year-old had something to say about that scene.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that must have been a little awkward.
More pudding.
I'm sure.
So, yeah, at this point, we can continue to talk about some stuff, but it's going to be difficult to talk specifics, I think, because, sorry, let me take a step back. I meant to mention so you called out the runes, MZ, and it was the R-looking one is Rido, and then the sort of infinity-looking one is Dagaz, and together, I don't know if they were in specific order or not, but it's they basically mean Rido is kind of, you summarize it, means journey, and Dagaz means hope. So I don't know if you could summarize it as journey of hope, but it's kind of accurate, I guess, in a way.
In their world, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
In their world, instilled in their beliefs, I would absolutely agree with that because with the way this film ends, there is a bit of joy involved.
Well, I don't know if it's necessary that the people would believe that these two runes go together, or more so that the viewing audience would perceive the characters as having a journey of hope.
Well, she thought, well, that's more the foreshadowing because Danny thought that this would be a journey of hope where she could finally get her, for lack of a better term, inner demons resolved.
Correct.
And possibly her also to fix her relationship with Christian. But also it entailed what the cult is also trying to achieve, over a 90-year span. So the day and the journey, which you could see those runes imprinted or stitched rather on her dress as she's being whisked away, so to speak.
Yeah, and her journey turned, and you heard that through some of the dialogue. And there's some almost like if you miss it, you're gonna miss. If you miss key words, you're gonna miss.
I mean, I have a theory about her that I can't even speculate on air, or it would be a huge spoiler. Yes,
I'm fascinated.
Huge spoiler. You know what? I'm interested to. I'm going to speak with everyone off air because I'm interested in everyone's feeling, but it would just tie everything together.
All right. Yeah, maybe we could talk about it during. Well, you guys can talk about it during the break. We're
gonna get a break.
Oh, actually, no, we probably won't. It's late.
How many cigarette breaks did you take while watching this?
Oh, that's a good question.
You fucking chain smoked during it, didn't you?
I watched it downstairs.
Yeah, you chain smoked like a motherfucker,
like Bruce Willis and fucking
Cigarette
Lost Boy Scout. Yeah. All he was lighting up.
You touched the dog and I light your cigarettes. I was just gonna say that.
He does. Light daddy's cigarette. Who's a good?
Here, I'll keep this going for me.
Who's a good Bijan? He is a good Bijan. Where is he?
You found his cigarettes.
Yeah.
No, he don't smoke. He's
chain smoking in the basement right now.
No, it's bad.
Actually, no, he's a bad dog. He's chain smoking in the living room.
And you know what? I really love the fluidity of the camera movements in this movie. I really dug it. I thought it was really, really good. Especially the maypole scene. I thought was really, really so executed. I thought the maypole scene was so great.
You know what? I'll say that the trips were filmed great.
Yeah.
A lot of it was a lot of subtlety with it. Yeah. Like you were just like, did that just move? Like,
right?
Like it was it was a whole lot of that going on, and it was great.
Yeah, there was this one scene that at the dinner table where I could have sworn I saw that piece of meat.
Yeah, did that just breathe?
Yeah, right. I'm like, wait a minute, did that? And I had to stop and wait. Oh yeah, it did. Look at that.
Oh, speaking of pieces of meat, these people do not know how to farm. You don't grow cows.
So, yeah, I don't think we can talk too much more. Yeah, I think we should probably just kind of we can give some overall impressions about some other stuff. But yeah, you were just mentioning some of the technical achievements, and I think this movie has a lot to speak of. The way it was filmed, the score, it's just so beautiful. That really helps, especially when you're looking at sort of an idyllic setting like this. You want to show it may be easier to film, but you still got to frame it correctly and have it look good, And I think that they really fired on all cylinders in terms of the technical achievements in this,
Yeah.
So I think all that stuff is great. The cinematography is great. The directing, the script, everything, without any of those, since this film is sort of a slow moving film and it's very long, without any of those, this could seem like a very boring movie, or I could see engagement dropping and people just not into it. So
takes place in an open field about 90% of the film.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would imagine that the cost of this movie had to have been pretty low. Just had to pay for basically actors and constructing the sets that are in that open field.
And they use a lot of local actors as well. The budget was $8 to $10 million, and if
they were actors at all, I'm willing to bet a lot of them weren't even.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think you're right about that. So it made it. So it cost $8 to $10 million, and it made $41 million at the box office. It's not a runaway hit, but if you can make 4 times your money, that's not a bad thing at all. And this is a bold film. I mean, to have a 2.5 hour film from a director doing his second feature, about a pagan cult. I think that's a tough sell for some people, but people turned out and people saw it, and that's a good thing. And I hope that Ari Aster is able to continue to make films like this that get theatrical releases that really push some boundaries, because I think it's good for cinema, and I think that it's good to be able to see this sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have a problem with this. This was really great.
Yeah. So do you guys, is there anything else that's not spoiler territory that you guys want to touch upon before we head to a verdict on this?
I can't think of anything.
No. Okay, so let's go to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let's kick it off, since I think he has already sort of let us know what he thinks. Let's start with MZ.
Oh, well, hey. Yeah, this is a high-end treat for me. I really dug this. And because I'm such a big fan of movies like The Wicker Man, I never found this to be one bit boring in the slightest. In fact, I was gearing up to watch it again.
Nice.
Yeah. This was just a blast watching this. Everything about this movie was done to perfection or near perfection. The foreshadowing involved, Jesus Christ, there is tons of foreshadowing. The very first scene, you'll get foreshadowing. Okay, you got to keep your eyes open, keep them open, and you might even be able to figure it all out within minutes. But sit back, enjoy watching this. This is practically a masterpiece of not just horror, but of cinema in general. It's just fantastic. I thought it was wonderfully acted. The cinematography is fantastic. The score was brilliant. Very uneasy movie. I don't know how Ari Aster did it, but he did it, and he did it with perfection. It was just an absolutely perfect film. I want to see this again. I want this in my library. This is a high-end treat for me. I don't know what else to say about it.
All right, let's go to Aries.
I definitely enjoyed this movie. Visually it was such a great movie to watch, and there was even the set pieces, seeing some of the buildings, the angles of the roofs. It was just, it was like, what rational person would make a roof like that? But it's so much worked for this film and for this group of people. It was out of place anywhere else except for in this world, and it so much belonged. Some of the character motivation I had a little bit of problem with, so I will not say that this is a perfect movie, because I did question some character motivation, some of it was answered, and I was happy about that because some of the bigger problems I had, I didn't mention any of those because they were 100% answered. So if you're as you're watching this, you're type of person like me where you go, why would someone do that? A lot of those things are answered, and I'm happy about that because it is one of those things like, oh, bullshit, why would he do that? And then you're like watching, like, oh, that's why he did that. Okay, and it so much makes sense. And like I said, I think I made some realizations after I watched this movie about further character development that I can't even talk about because it would be spoilers, and it makes this movie that much better. Like I want to rewatch this movie with those thoughts that I have and see if they're true, see if I'm right, because it would make it so much better. And if I'm wrong and it didn't happen, I'm gonna make a better movie than this because I have a perfect thought. I don't know. But oh my God, watch this movie. I don't know if the director's cut is that much better than the original cut because I've only watched the director's cut and I can't imagine cutting anything out of this. So if you have the opportunity, watch the director's cut, sit down, spend the 3 hours. It is so much worth it. This movie is definitely a treat.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Yeah. Huh.
You didn't talk much, so I don't know.
This is a movie, huh?
Holy crap! Really?
Allow me to retort. So once again, the first two Lord of the Rings movies, I've only seen the fucking director's cut. Slow it down, Aries. Don't get excited. Legolas. So I once again watching this, I'm kind of thinking, well, what might be the director's cut version and what is the theatrical cut? And I truly can't tell. Everything about this flick means to me, don't watch it and bullshit your way through it. But I would, yeah, it makes
that's every movie for you.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but like I'll watch like 20 minutes, Bambaleo and fucking whatever the fuck. But I was fucking compelled. You know what I mean? I planned for it, and I was along for the ride. What this movie did well, and maybe it was the way the subtle things about the college kids, Americans coming to a foreign land. You can't just leave the haunted house. You're fucking stuck there. Like you have to be a part of this ride. You can't just, I don't care how many fucking sneakers you wear at nighttime. You can't run fast enough to get back home. You know what I mean? Like you're stuck there. So I was along for the journey. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know. I was along for the ride. Still not sure what I thought about the movie after I watched it. Did I like it? Did I hate it? I don't know. I still don't know. And we're going to find out together. But I thought technically it was beautiful. The lights was great. I like the actors.
The lights was great.
The lights were great.
The lights was great.
Light.
The two lights they used in the outdoor scenes.
Yeah.
The fuck?
The sun and the other
the
one.
Sun. Yeah, the sun was great. They got
That fire was awesome.
I don't know how they hired
the fire and the sun.
Yeah. He must have got. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
You were doing so good, and then you just.
The story of my life.
Yeah.
But I was really you were really good in your 20s. I don't know, man. I don't like cult films. And I did much like Woo 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 Worcester. I did have Rosemary's Baby vibe a little bit towards in parts of this, but shit, Johnny, I didn't want to watch this fucking movie.
I know you didn't.
But I watched this motherfucker. And I think I like this movie.
I like it.
I did. I don't know. Once again, I don't know how I can recommend this. But if you watched it, I want to talk to you about it. And I got some questions, too, about Danny and about Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. Wasn't Star-Lord.
And Bandersnatch.
They got the Star-Lord and the Bandersnatch.
Yeah. He hated the ticks. Fuck.
Come on, man.
Just say it so we can move on.
Yeah.
This was a fucking super long ass.
Oh my god.
Right. Treat.
Good.
Are you,
All
are
right.
you sure? Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on, MZ. I'm not gonna question it.
That's right. It's true. Yeah.
All right. We actually, Anthony had a good point in the chat room, but I'm actually not going to read it because it could be perceived as a slight spoiler. So I'll just leave, if you guys want, you can read that. And so for me, this was a high-end treat for me. And just the way it was filmed, and like I said, the boldness of this fucking film is unbelievable. Like that, he puts this out in theaters. And like some people were horrified, some people, didn't like it, but a lot of people went for the ride. And I think that it's expanding, what you can do with the genre. I'm not saying it's an original piece, but it's sort of like showing the masses what you can do with horror. And I think that this is a great character arc for Danny. And I also feel, without giving too much away, I feel that this is a really interesting analogy for. There's a couple different things I could look at it as. I saw it sort of as an analogy of mental illness in terms of Danny and how she is treated by Christian versus how she's treated towards the end. And I thought that was an interesting dichotomy. So, that's something I wanted to bring up, but didn't want to discuss in detail. But then there's also the something that's come up a lot actually, and I think it's a great topic that filmmakers are tackling because it's creating discussion around it, is toxic masculinity. And I think that's another thing here on display with Christian. And I think that it's something that's been showing up a little bit more in films, and I think that it's something that should be addressed and tackled and taken down, if you will, So, I think there's a lot going on here, and you can take a lot from this movie based on that. It's one of those movies where you can take out of it what you bring into it, if you know what I mean, So, and Anthony has a good point. He says also Christian in finger quotes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fair. I mean,
it's a very good point by him. So
I fucking that dude.
Yeah, I know you do.
Pal.
So I think it's a big achievement, a masterful film, and once again, I mean this. It's funny if you look at this director's cut and then you look at, let's say Avengers Endgame. Both are 3 hours. Like the pacing is completely different, but these films are both like huge achievements in filmmaking in different ways. Like this is the antithesis of Endgame, and this is such a successful movie, I think. And I think that it's great. I hope Ari Aster continues to do horror, or at least horror adjacent films, because I think he's really good at it, and he's really good at sort of putting some social political commentary in without having it be overbearing. So I think him and Jordan Peele are two directors that do it masterfully nowadays. So,
or he can make Ant-Man 3.
What's that?
Or he can make Ant-Man 3.
Who, Ari Aster?
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
Be awesome.
Jesus. So
yeah. He'll put in good lights in that movie.
Yeah, good. He'll hire the sun.
Yeah.
All right, so big time treat for me on this one. So if you guys have not yet seen Midsommar, I highly recommend it. And like I said, we saw the director's cut here, but the theatrical cut is also very good. And there was a few things that I noticed in this. A lot of it didn't really stand out as like, oh, I don't remember that, because I saw it in theaters and just kind of took it all in. There was definitely some things that I picked out, but other than that, I think both work. So, if you want to get it on VOD, you don't have iTunes or access to Apple, because I think that's the only way to get it right now. Or actually, I think Goro bought an import of it. So if you have a region-free player, you can buy an import of the director's cut. But otherwise, you're going to have to get to the theatrical cut, and either one's fine, really. So give it a look.
There's
though.
one aspect I'm surprised that you didn't mention in this movie about how one of the guests who is, for lack of a better term, dispatched, uses an old Viking torture technique.
Which one? Oh, I think I know what you mean now.
I don't want to say who it is.
Okay. And we didn't even talk about.
Surprised you didn't bring it up.
And we didn't even talk about some of the characters, like the one that adorned the Fangoria cover.
Oh yeah.
And I actually thought he was going to be play a bigger role in this based on that. But yeah. So check out Midsommar, and next week. So the funny thing is, next week we're starting December Cram Jam, but I think the two films we're watching are going to clock in at less than this film.
Outstanding.
So I know it was a short week and we fit in a 3-hour movie, but next week we're going to be doing two films. One recently got released on VOD, and it was in theaters. It was a theatrical release, and it got a lot of praise. And it's from some directors that we've actually talked to on the show. So the film is Ready or Not, and it's directed by Radio Silence, who we had on the show maybe a couple years ago when we talked to. They had just released Southbound, and we really dug that, so we had them on to talk about it. So yeah, looking forward to Ready or Not. And then also another film that's been mentioned by some folks, I know Pabst and maybe a couple other folks had mentioned it, is a film called Tigers Are Not Afraid, and that is available on Shudder. Ready or Not is available on VOD, so you can check it out, Amazon, iTunes, wherever you get your VOD, and then Tigers Are Not Afraid is on Shudder if you have Shudder. So looking forward to both of those, and next week December Cram Jam kicks off, and if you guys want to give your thoughts on either film, or if you have seen Midsommar and you didn't get your thoughts in this week, feel free to send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. We, as always, love to hear from you guys. So that's what we're doing next week. And now we have some voicemail. So let's go ahead and check out what folks have to say this week. And we'll kick things off with our boy, Raven Shadow's boy, Evil Corny.
Hey guys, this is Evil Corny. I watched Midsommar this past summer. Really enjoyed the film. Had a lot of beats like The Wicker Man, but I overall enjoyed it. I got the Disney app a couple weeks ago, and that whole bundle with that Hulu and ESPN Plus. But I found that Hulu had Lowlife on it, and I gave that movie a try. I really loved it. For some reason, I never found it on DVD, and I always forgot to look on iTunes or whatever to rent it. But it was free on Hulu. Really enjoyed it. Randy might be one of my favorite characters ever right now. You all have a good one. Evil Corny out. Oh, yeah, and happy Thanksgiving.
Good old Randy.
Oh, man.
You don't understand his struggles.
Oh, man. Who would have fucking thunk it, man?
I know. And speaking of which, we also had Ryan Prowse, the director of Lowlife, on the show prior. So,
yeah,
just talking about directors. And Ryan was awesome, and that movie is awesome. So, he's got a new one coming out soon. I can't wait, man.
Word?
I can't remember the name of it now, but check it out. I'll look up Ryan Prowse. I think did we ask him for clarification if it was Prowse or Prose? I can't remember.
I don't think we did.
All right, let me check out and see what their next film is, and that's kind of a film collective as well. There's a few folks. Yeah. Okay. So it's just listed as Low Life as his most recent thing. But I do know that he had something. They got funding for it as well, and I remember it was like they had a couple articles about it. So I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find out. All right, so we'll cut to the next voicemail. I'll look that up. And Anthony says, saw Tigers last year at Buff. It's amazing. And Buff is the Boston Underground Film Fest. And yeah, I did see it was playing, and I didn't get a chance to catch it. So I've been looking forward to this for over a year now. So definitely happy to check it out. But let's hear from our boy, FTM, First Time Mike.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is your boy, First Time Mike. Hope everything is well with everybody on this Thanksgiving week. And it's interesting that you picked Midsommar as the movie you're going to review this week. I'm genuinely curious to see what you guys thought of this movie, because it's not a normal movie that you sit through in the theaters. It's not a movie for everybody, I think, and I'm just going to say that right off the bat. It's a very slow burn of a movie. There's a lot of scenes of disquiet in this movie, of loving panning over the scenes of communal bliss, and as it goes on, you're starting to notice the more dark undertones in the bright sunshine. And the way that the camera pans over, like of the wind rippling through the grass, or there's or certain scenes where there's some imbibing or some taking of certain herbs or such, that there's some more trippy scenes. And just a genuine disquieting use of noise and screaming. And the one thing I did notice when I watched it again was how much there is if you really look at some of the artwork in the buildings and some of the backgrounds, and you think about what they're saying, or like stuff that's happening in the background of the main characters. There's a lot of sinister shit going on in this movie that leads you, that your eye is following while other things are going on, and it's a really good use of the panoramic view. There's a couple scenes that just totally that got me a bit, and I've seen a ton of horror movies, but just some of the visceralness of some of the scenes, just clashing with the pastoral nature of the movie, was truly jarring. I did like the characters. I understand not watching catching the movie, why Danny is the type of character she is. I think her boyfriend is pretty much a manipulative douchebag, and his friends are much better. Aren't much better. His friend Josh is, hyperactive, wanting to do his thesis, and his friend Mark is pretty much the ugly American made manifest, taking just levels of douchebaggery until you just want to see what happens to him, because he just keeps on just being just a dick. It's kind of a divisive. My friend Joe went to see it as well. He didn't like it as much as I did. I gave it, I give it a treat, but it's not for everybody. It's a slow burn. A lot of the characters are unlikable, and I think some of the pacing will not go with some people. But I say, if you are in a certain mindset, give it a chance. I haven't had a chance to watch the director's cut, but from what I've heard, it sounds very interesting. As a final note, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful for, what you have, who you got, who you're around, who your friends are. And, on Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, gather around whatever you're having. Be thankful for everything around you and all the people. Love you guys. Wishing you all the best, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Definitely before Christmas goes around. Hopefully I'm not too busy, but this is First Time Mike from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, wishing everybody across the world a happy Thanksgiving from the United States. Bye.
All right. Thanks, First Time Mike.
Yeah.
Glad you dug the movie. I know First Time Mike likes his folk horror, so I'm glad to hear that he dug the flick. And he also brought up some good points there, so thank you, buddy. I just found out what the next film from Ryan Prowse is, and it's called Night Patrol.
Sold.
Ooh. There was a movie made back in 1985 called Night Patrol that starred the unknown comic and Linda Blair. And
I've seen that.
And
Oh
it
my
was
God,
yeah. And it was like it was supposed to be like Police Academy only done with Linda Blair and the unknown comic.
Yeah. Was it always the same unknown comic as?
Yeah. That's the unknown comic, and
With a fucking bag on his
Pat
head.
Morita was in it.
Yeah.
That's the only Night Patrol I know.
Holy shit! I've seen that fucking movie.
So,
Movie's rocks.
just to finish up the point here, there's a synopsis for Night Patrol. It says, in Night Patrol, an African-American LAPD officer must put aside his differences with the area's street gangs when he discovers a local police task force is harboring a horrific secret that endangers the residents of the housing project he grew up in.
Nice.
So, yeah.
No
look,
Linda Blair.
what's that?
And no Linda.
No luchador as far as we know. No Linda Blair.
Oh, fucking Randy's better be in that fucking some.
Randy. Not just the actor, but he's got to be Randy again.
Yeah, Randy. Where's Randy? I want them in different movies.
With the
always.
tattoo?
Yeah. I want to see that movie where he becomes fucking El Monstro. Make that fucking sequel.
Creepy Girl says, I think I may be remembering the movie wrong because I didn't think her boyfriend was a douche. I felt like he was a guy with compassion, but because he wanted to break up with her, but didn't because he felt sorry for her and her circumstances, and I almost felt like she used her situation to keep a hold of him. I guess I will watch. Yeah, he was, I mean, I guess I could see someone seeing it that way. It depends on point of view, but he said
one line that makes him a douche, and that was when debating whether he should break up with her or not, and that was, what if I want to get back together with her?
Yeah, I know he was a douche to me.
He was.
And Creepy Girl, no offense, but like as a dude, that was a douche.
Yeah.
Like down to forgetting the birthday, and then the friend stuff was like, I invited her, but she's not gonna go. Like, don't worry, bros, I got this. Like he was dial D for douche.
Dial D for douche.
Yeah, man.
So there is, let me see, I was just looking on Shudder. I just wanted to be absolutely certain that Tigers Not Afraid is on there, and it definitely is. So it is on Shudder. But also, I'm looking, there's a couple other things on there that we've talked about recently. Necrotronic is now on Shudder. It's kind of a fun movie, right? Not outstanding, but fun. Also, let's see, Psychopaths, the Mickey Keating film, is also on there. And Cold Hell, that movie we did, as well, is on there. And there's another one called One Cut of the Dead that I've been meaning to check out. Have any of you guys seen that?
Yeah, I've been meaning to look at that.
Yeah, and it's also
Keeps
got,
popping up, and it's threatening me to queue it up, so I should just bite the bullet and do it.
And it's also got Behind the Mask, Leslie Vernon, and Channel Zero. All 4 seasons of Channel Zero are now on Shudder as well. I recommend that show, big time. All right, so we got some a couple more voicemail. Let's go to, let's see. Oh, this is from, I don't know who it's from, but it says it's entitled "I Miss Mars."
Hello, Trick or Treat Radio. What's going on, fella? It's been a long time since I've called into your studio, man. I miss you guys, man. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all, man. can you also tell Mars that I miss him and happy Thanksgiving to him and his family? I appreciate that, Wolfie. Thank you very much. Well, so y'all gonna eat some turkey or what's up, man? Y'all got the mashed potatoes and the macaroni and cheese and all that set up, man? I'm probably gonna skip the shit because last time I had some fucking turkey, that shit was dried and burnt to a crisp. Tasted like my grandma's vag. I'm kidding, bro. Nah, I'm kidding, man.
Wow.
Shit. What's up, Monster Zero? Monster Zero's been killing it as of late. That motherfucker's funny, dude. The impressions is killing it, bro. I love you.
Yeah.
Goddamn Aries, man. Aries is the motherfucking boss, dog. Cause if you fuck up, man, he will step on your goddamn throat like there's no tomorrow, baby. Woo! What's going on, Raven Shadow? My boy, Raven Chateau. Chateau, boy. You got some smokes on you? I probably got 3 or 4 or 5 in your mouth right now, motherfucker. Damn, Raven Shadow. Wolfie, what's going on? Captain of the motherfucking ship.
What's up,
baby?
Oh, that's it. I think he purposely got cut off. Oh shit! It's been a while.
Oh, you are the queen bee.
You know how that is, Raven Shadow.
I know.
You know.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
That's our boy. What's his name?
That's fucking Johnny, fucking awesome sauce.
No, let's play a clip from back in the day.
Take
these broken wings.
I miss him so much.
These broken wings.
But that's probably the best thing that we've done in like 800 whatever the fuck episodes.
Yeah, you said 800. We only are on 383, buddy.
By the time we get to 800, that will still be the best thing that we've done.
Rubberonsky.
And you don't realize he has his own show that happens in his bedroom after we go.
Oh wait, do you
so
count?
He is well like beyond the thousands. Beyond the shows he's had alone.
You know what? I bet he counts the episodes when he listens back. You know what? If you did, we'd be in the 800s.
Oh, we'd be well beyond that. You know, he listens to these things twice, 3 times.
No,
Except if he's not on it, he won't listen.
No.
Yeah, no. That's a bad show. No, I just try to fucking take it all in, man.
Whoa.
Take it all in?
Yeah, take it all?
No, you try to hear. You try to see what works, what doesn't work. Maybe make an adjustment. It's like watching film.
So when are you going to start making adjustments then?
I don't know. I'm like Tom Brady. I'm just watching film, man.
You're not, because you don't make the adjustments.
Well, I'm not
yeah,
like Tom
you don't. You definitely don't make the adjustments.
I'm with you. You could see what's wrong, but you don't like zig when you should. You just stay on that course. This is going poorly. I'm just going to see where this goes.
I need a wrangler. I need a guy like who's the guy that like rubs Brady down? Who's the guy? The
Kraft?
guy, like,
His trainer?
Kraft gets the rubbing. He doesn't.
Yeah, they're around. I need a
doesn't
guy.
rub.
I need a wrangler.
What?
Hey, someone to get me there to there and just like calm me down.
Really?
I need that.
Why?
Johnny, Saturday.
Well, you want to be your wrangler for fucking 2 days?
I do want to be a wrangler.
When I'm there?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Why? Come on. Just wrangle me a little bit.
Wow, this is
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I ain't wrangling you.
It's Thanksgiving. Come on.
I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate it.
Oh fuck. I'll get some tofurkey.
What? Celebrate the fact that a bunch of Native Americans were fucking slaughtered and the slaughter of turkeys? Yeah, I'm all for it.
And we're sorry about that. I'm just saying there were mistakes made. On behalf of the Italian community, we're sorry.
The Italian community. You put turkey in your sausage? In your
Did you just really try to justify Thanksgiving with Columbus?
Listen, no, he was a dick. Okay. And it always threw me off, too, as a kid where, like, Columbus fucking discovered the new world and then ended up in jail. Like, huh. But he didn't fucking sail for fucking Italy. He sailed for fucking Spain. That's his fucking problem. He went outside the family.
Well, a big thanks to Gene Siskel's balding head. It
Thank
was
you.
fucking awesome to hear from you, buddy. I know it's been a while, but anytime we get to hear from you is A-okay in my book, and we fucking love it. So,
Just PN.
and he was fluffing you guys up a little bit too.
Fluffing nada.
I don't know if that's Aries' first encounter with the Gene or not, but
I think it might.
I think it is.
No.
He's calling me a bully, I think.
well, you know,
He put you over.
Yeah, he put you over.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
stop it there. All right, we got one more voice message, and this is from Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, Arkham Josh here. Just dropping a quick message, see how you guys are doing. First off, happy holidays. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're all going to have a good Thanksgiving. Second off, haven't caught up on the films. Have not gotten to watch this week's film technically, but I did see Midsommar in the theaters, so I'm very much looking forward to getting a chance to see the extended director's cut. I'm not going to give an official rating or anything, but I am going to say I was a big fan of the film in theaters and did highly recommend it to people. So I'm thinking I'm going to like this, the extended version as well. But once I get around to it, I'll let you know. Two things I did want to pop on and mention film-wise. I got a chance to see that new 4K restoration of Evil Dead that's going around. It's the new restoration with the newly redone soundtrack. And overall, the film looks fantastic. I personally think that the soundtrack's kind of hit or miss. A lot of the times the soundtrack works fine, but I think there's actually kind of too much of it. To go from a film that had almost no soundtrack to have kind of a more traditional amount of soundtrack, it seems a little bit excessive at times. And there is actually at least one or two moments where it's just downright distracting. You know, I know this isn't like a big spoiler thing, but everybody knows the scene where they arrive at the cabin, and there is the bench that is swinging, presumably in the breeze, but then stops abruptly once the key is in hand. They actually put score under that, and I think the score just was distracting in that moment, because the original kind of builds a good sense of tension and dread with the banging of the bench against the wall, but I don't know. There was a couple other moments like that, but that's the one that really sticks in my memory. So, I don't know if any of you guys have gotten to see this new version. Well, let us know what you think. Lastly, Knives Out, the new Rian Johnson film.
Oh, yeah.
Been a huge fan of Rian Johnson ever since I just kind of popped into a matinee of Brick because I had nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon, and I was like, oh, looks interesting. And completely mind blown because that film is absolutely fantastic. Been eager to see everything he's done since then, and I got to project a preview screening of Knives Out on Sunday. The movie is just outright fantastic. It's extremely well written. All the characters are great. The acting's great. You know, it's both tense and hilarious at moments. If you had any interest in seeing it at all, just go see it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll enjoy it. So even though you guys might not end up covering it, I'm going to say Knives Out, treat, recommend, immediately. All right, I hope you guys are all having a good one. I look forward to hearing your discussion of Midsommar. And everybody, don't eat too much on Thanksgiving. All right, have a good one. Bye.
All right, Josh. Thanks, buddy.
Right.
And
Cool.
I am curious to see Knives Out. I like Rian Johnson as a filmmaker, even though I know a lot of Star Wars fans do not. But yeah, have you guys seen anything about it in the trailer or anything?
Yeah, it's got Cap is in it, right?
Yeah,
Chris Evans.
well, cast is ridiculous. It's got like everyone in it.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Curtis. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's got a great cast. So it looks like it would be fun. So I'll definitely check that out when it's in theaters. Probably. There's like a ton of movies I want to see still. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see it.
Yeah, good thing you got that A pass there, whatever.
The
it's called.
A-list. Yeah, I'm an A-list.
Yeah.
These seats better recline.
They do recline. They're nice. I can reserve my seats too.
Good. Otherwise, I'd sue.
Although I am going to see Rise of Skywalker on 2 consecutive days. I bought tickets as soon as they went available for the. Oh, speaking of which, guys, we have to move the show on December 19th.
Oh, you have tickets?
Yeah, I have a 7:00 showing.
The fuck, man!
Really, you have to go?
I have to go. Do I have to go? Dude, it's fucking Star Wars.
Two-thirds of this room understand and are willing to change the day. So if you don't, you can come here and sit by yourself and talk into that microphone.
Okay.
So just a heads up, that's Thursday, December 19th. So a few weeks. Holy shit, that movie's coming out soon. And then with work, they got us tickets to see it the next day. So I'll be seeing it at 7 p.m. on Thursday and then at 9 a.m. on the next day, Friday.
Jesus, only 14 hours later, you'll be watching it again?
Yep. Not enough time. We have Woo 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 Sock says, however you guys spend the next few days, I'm thankful for the whole lot of you, and I'm thankful that I ain't Ricky Rude.
Oh, pal. Oh, pal.
So, let's see. I think that's it for voicemail. Yep. So we got to everyone for voicemail. We appreciate you guys taking some time out. I know we were recording a couple days earlier, so we appreciate you getting them in. And yeah, so let me review for next week. By the way, do you guys have anything else you wanted to bring up before we start our goodbyes?
I don't believe.
Nope.
Okay. So, actually, the one thing I was going to bring up is we're going to be talking about Patreon stuff. So I think we actually decided while Raven Shadow was fixing his hair and taking care of other things before the show started, but we're doing another film commentary, and I think we should do Weird Science.
Yeah.
Give me the keys.
Forget Adra. Give me the keys.
All right, so this weekend we're going to be recording a film commentary for Weird Science, and then we're going to do another episode as well, get a couple in the can, get them ready for Patreon exclusive. So if you guys have any talking points or anything like that, and you get this before we record, let us know. Maybe I'll post it up on the group as well so people can get a head start on that. And next week, as I mentioned, we're doing Ready or Not. And the other film we're doing is Tigers Are Not Afraid. And Tigers Are Not Afraid is available on Shudder, and Ready or Not is VOD. So check them out if you guys want to play the December double feature cram jam at home with us. You can go ahead and feel free to do that. And we'd love to hear from you if you want to give your thoughts. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com. That is going to be it. I'm going to shut the fuck up. Now let's say goodbye, MZ.
Arrivederci, whoosh bags.
And I don't know. We've always done this each year. I almost forgot about it. I don't know. But if you guys want it, you can do what we're thankful for.
No.
Okay. He's not thankful for anything. All right, Aries.
Hey, MZ. I'm thankful for the Woo Socks.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
Wow, no. I'm thankful that I've so far a few weeks shy, but another year of exceeding expectations on this mortal coil.
Whose expectations?
It's a little bit of chest pain. There's nothing wrong with it. Listen, the show's over. It's okay to have a chest pain every couple hours. Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
And I'll make this short and sweet. And I'm thankful for my little guy, Ozzy. And he's going through a little bit of a thing right now. And, so I don't really ask for well wishes, but if people want to, send them my way, I'm not going to say no. Keep him in your thoughts. He's the best. He's the best boy. Sorry, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, he's tag team champion of the best boy.
Ozzy's a lot better.
Wow.
Bro.
Wow.
I met both your dogs. Ozzy's better.
Oh, my God. Wow. I wouldn't let him in the house again after that.
Fucking studio in the basement in the backyard. What the fuck?
No, you know what Aries can do? You can feed the microphone through the window, and he can do from the porch.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on Skype, old school Skype. Sit in the yard.
Sit in the yard. So that's what
Aries in the car on line 4.
So that's what I'm thankful for, and well, so I'll see you guys this weekend. Hopefully, I'll see all you guys.
Yeah. And big ups to Oscar too. The friends and the pets are very nice.
Yeah, you know what would be awesome if people want to. How about this? If people want to share pictures of their pets on the Facebook group, that would be a good way of what you're thankful for. If you want to do that.
Yeah, and tell Ozzy not to get pissed. And
all right, I'll tell him.
But dude, too.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us here on episode 383 of Trick or Treat Radio. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week.